my audio working all right?
Yep. I'm gonna wait to intro us until it's 7. I just want to stream up early.
All right, sounds good.
Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to Frostbite, the Freljordian fundraiser. Put this on every year. For those who aren't aware, we have done a format update for this year. So instead of doing 4 rounds of Swiss where every team plays, after the first 2 rounds of Swiss, Metabusters and Fruitcakes have actually locked their spot into the bracket already since they reached 2 wins, and Big Bananas and 101 Thieves are unfortunately out already as they've already accumulated 2 losses. What that leaves us with is we have Rift Sharks versus Andromeda, who are going to be starting off our day, and Albert's Inferno versus Skaven Kill Team, who are going to get us to the halfway point. They are playing as they're both, or all 4 of those are 1-1 teams, so they have a chance to get to 2 wins or to 2 losses depending on this game, which means that these 2 games are probably the most important games of the Swiss stage, where your team will either be eliminated from tournament contention or automatically make it to the next round, or they will face either the Metabusters or the Fruitcakes, who both went 2-0, so they get the quote-unquote easier opponents who ended up 1-1 after 2 rounds of Swiss. And as always with Frostbite, any donations, you can get those in our bio, or subs that we receive throughout this will be going to the charity selected by the winner of the tournament. So the 6 candidates we have left are the LA Fire Department Foundation, the Trevor Project, Ocean Defenders Alliance, PCRF, Doctors Without Borders, and Apopo, which basically creates what I've been calling superhero rats through the tournament. I know Sav's big rat guy. When he comes back, I'll see if I can sell him on that one. But
yeah, when I was looking at potential fundraisers, I looked up Rat Fundraiser, and that, as far as I can tell, is the only one that showed up. So
amazing. So our key matchup for this game is
wonderful work.
Actually 2 players that I am shocked have only played each other once. That's pretty much going to stay the same after this game since Frostbite isn't logged, but it's PB versus Dad, and Dad's actually gotten the best of him. Not many supports in the server can say that. But Dad, 26-13 overall win rate, or win record in scrims is pretty insane, and he's played Zillion into PB before. PB has a lot more games in the server and has a pretty similarly good KDA, although Dad's is a little bit better, 97 and 84. I think bot lane should be a pretty fun lane to watch here in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we have what I think are 2 of the best supports on the server facing off here. I think it'll certainly make for a good match.
Yep,
especially
and our key
with
player,
with the difference in their especially with the difference in their play styles. You know, Dad likes to run around the map, make plays for his team, and PB likes to play hard for lane a lot of the time. So it'll be interesting to see how those 2 interact.
Yeah, very true. Our key player for Rift Sharks is actually going to be Brewer. He is getting to play again. I'm expecting that we'll get to see the Echo again, since he does not get to play that much, and it is blind pick. And this honestly could have just been another key matchup, but we do have Sarverus on the other side. I do actually want to look up their win rates, but Sarv 176 games to Gruer's 185. They actually have the exact same win rate at 56.8%, which is crazy.
And they have very similar KDAs as well.
3.94 for Gruer to 3.81 for Sarverus. So Sarv does have a bit of a bigger champion pool, but I assume that's probably because he's flexed around the map more, whereas Gruer is mainly just stuck in the mid lane. But I'm actually going to pull up their their matchup stats, but I'll hover the champions to watch, and let me know if you think any of these champions are going to come out in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we see the Syndra and we see the Syndra as a key champion for both of these players. Gruer is seemingly having an nearly unbeatable Syndra, going 13-4 with a 5.65 KDA.
That's
but
fucking gross.
it is ridiculous. But we have seen Sarverus. I think both games he's played in Frostbite, he's played that Syndra, and he dropped 20 plus kills in both games. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Sarverus pick up the Syndra. Gruer maybe thinking he wants to mirror the Syndra himself, or continuing at the Echo. I don't know. I don't really know how that matchup goes, but I'm sure they both know how to play it in and out.
Yeah, I am about to have the matchup data. I was just going to pull the bot lane one too, because I'm pretty sure Coffee's fathering me, so it would be funny to look at. But here, let me get that dragged in.
Yeah, but then I mean, looking at the rest of the map, the other matchups aren't slouches either. Like if you look at Avery Arnier up in the top lane, that is also
might as well just go
a really
pull that one up
important matchup.
too.
both of these guys being very, very excellent top laners. Avery obviously with his crazy Darius, and Arnier with his Renekton. Kind of the stereotypical top lane matchup. You know, those are two champions that we see very often. We have a lot of good players on those. So again, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Although Avery didn't play the Darius in his previous two games.
That's true. Although I think we have seen Arnie on the Croc twice, so could be either. I am actually just going to run us through all the matchup info because you have a fair point. They're all very fun matchups to look at. Let me make sure I'm actually deleting the right thing here. Okay. So let me get us back to matchups if I can get there. Okay. So PB versus Dad is one in Dad's favor. If I drag this one in there, Sarverus versus Gruer have actually only played against each other 10 times. That's surprising. I would have expected it to be more. But actually, I guess the team where they both played a lot in Season 6. They were on the same, or maybe Season 7? Whichever. They're on the same team. So I guess that kind of eliminates some of the games against each other.
Yeah. And I mean, last season, Gruer wasn't playing and Sarverus was playing top.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing, too, is that Sarverus actually has a negative win rate in mid lane. He probably has gotten a lot of his wins from off-rolling. But Gruer is 7-3 up in the matchup, and the KDA is kind of not close. So that could be a good place to watch this game. But moving on... What the hell? That ain't right. I mean, well, that's right, but that's not what it's supposed to be. Sorry, I accidentally just fired a stray at fucking Stanley here.
Stanley.
Oh
Poor
my
Stanley.
God. I'm so sorry. This is gonna stay up for a sec though. That's so funny.
You know what? This is old Victor. Maybe with new Victor, Stanley does a lot better.
True, maybe. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what this was supposed to be is this one. And yeah, okay. I've actually only played him twice, but look how not remotely close it is.
0.46 KDA. Are you okay?
Yeah, he absolutely brutalized me in that series. I'm surprised I hadn't played into him before, but wow. Yeah, that's not good. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched this game, so hopefully you'll be able to turn it around.
Oh, we'll see. Moving over to jungle, Noam actually, and being both 2 games up in the jungle, but Noam's actually played into him 14 times. I think that's likely going to be the highest we see, unless Arnie and Avery is higher, but Noam up 9-5 in the matchup, but has a much worse KDA, but I think that's likely just due to play style differences between the two players.
Yeah, Noam, I mean, just looking at the champions, Noam, we see him on a lot of those more utility-based champions. I mean, I guess in a way, Vi isn't a utility-based champion, but she does tend to set up for her team more than just solo kill champions.
Same
But
with
I mean,
Lilia,
Warwick,
but
Vi, Zac, J4.
yeah. And then our last matchup is the same one because I suck at this. Holy crap.
Okay, you're warming up.
It'll get to the point where this isn't worth it anymore, and I'm sure that's already passed, but I feel guilty at this point for screwing it up, so...
Yeah, I definitely do want to see the stats for Avery versus Arnie.
Right, that's like the most important one, and I didn't pull it up.
Those are two top laners who can absolutely take over a game if they get ahead.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Wow, I mean,
that's
close.
Pretty even.
12 to 10 in favor of Arnie, though, whereas Avery performs better overall.
Yeah, with a 0.1 KDA difference in the matchup as well.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay,
yeah,
well,
these
anyway,
guys are very evenly matched.
We do not get to see the Darius Renekton matchup here, but we do get to see Darius versus one of Arnie's top 5 champions.
Oh.
We'll not spoil it until you actually get to see it in game, but it is going to be the Ornn, which is not necessarily what you would have expected.
Yeah, although he is known to be an Ornn blinder.
Yeah, but he hasn't played it throughout the tournament, so this is definitely an adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like...
I will leak that I was hoping for the Caitlyn Jinx, or Caitlyn Mirror matchup here, but Coffee went with Jinx. He played Varus earlier in the tournament, and I think he played it again in the game before, so and I think my teammates would like me to point out that I did accidentally fat finger barrier when walking out of maze.
Okay, yeah, that's an important fact.
Yeah.
So, looking at the two teams here, I mean, Rift Sharks is really playing an aggressive early game team. You really want to get that Darius ahead. You really want to get that Caitlyn ahead, and the Echo is going to be trying to pressure that. Going to be trying to pressure the Vex as much as possible. I'm wondering if the Vex is a counterpick to Echo. It feels like with the W it would be.
Yeah,
the moment
like
Echo jumps on you, just fear and walk away. But then on the side of Andromeda, they have drafted themselves a very tanky like run at you comp. With the Ornn, the Tom Kench trying to just get in your face as much as you. Oh, as we see something coming in the bot lane. EB lands a good W onto Coffee, and Dean's just kind of continuing to pressure here. Keep in mind, Dean does not have barrier here. So the Tom Kench might be able to find something, and there it is, the dad finding the first blood onto Dean.
Yeah.
So unfortunate that you burned your barrier earlier. I think that was the difference maker there.
My team certainly thought so when that happened. Oh my god.
A little bit unlucky there. I mean, PB found a good engage onto the Jinx, but it's kind of hard, especially when you have fleet footwork, to take those extended trades level 1 into lethal tempo 80 carry. Mid lane, I mean, they're kind of just farming. Brewer seemingly trying to shove the wave as fast as he can, get some wards down to get information on what Bean is doing. As another good engage by PB. He gets level 2 before Coffee does. But good trade coming out onto Coffee. Dean landing a good headshot there as well. Trading really aggressively onto this Jinx, which is what you want to see in this early lane. As Avery gets a good pull, able to trade again pretty aggressively onto Arnie. As we see all 3 lanes of Rift Sharks here shoving up really far into enemy tower. When you're playing this kind of Caitlyn matchup bot lane, your goal is really just to keep your opponents under tower, and so far it seems like you're doing a good job of that. Jinx doesn't really see us under tower all that well early, so you're trying to just force her to waste mana using rockets to trade back onto you and poke her under tower.
It looks like Vex has a bit of a CS lead, but the rest of the lanes are pretty even so far. The first blood feat going over is probably going to be important as the game progresses here. Objectives are definitely going to be something that you want to pick up early, try and get to that 3. which Rift Sharks has done a good job of doing throughout the tournament. But first tower is also going to be a concern, which, given the early game nature of Rift Sharks, I don't think they're actually in too much trouble to use the first blood, unbiased, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have the Caitlyn lane, you have the Darius into the Ornn. Getting first tower and a couple of Drakes for Rift Sharks is probably pretty inevitable here. Oh, PB with an aggressive flash, looking for the W. I mean, yeah, that was the W going in, but Coffee is able to trade back well. Lands the traps onto Dean as PB tries to go back in, but gets hit by the traps. Coffee forced to run out there, but really bloody fight bot lane. Good trap by Coffee to able to trade back at all there, but I think maybe sees that and greeds a little bit for too many autos. Gets hit by a headshot in the face. Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dive here. A 1-for-1 onto the... Losing the Rel for the Jinx would be pretty good here. But instead, Rift Sharks is going to take this opportunity to get a good back off. You've shoved the Jinx under tower, and you're able to just get a recall out without losing anything.
Not much has happened on the other sides of the map. Dragon has just spawned. It looks like Rift Sharks is trying to get that started up pretty soon. Pings are coming out at least. If you're able to get the Dragon down, like basically on spawn, you can actually still have decent timers for grubs, and I think that's going to be really important this season. Trying to make sure you can get both objectives on the first spawn if you do have an early game-sided team.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that if you're trying to just go for the objectives, having the bot lane focused team is probably better, because if it's easier to get one grub in a suicide contest and prevent your opponents from getting that stack, and just get the Drakes for yourself, because you have to fully commit to a contest or a steal there. But PB finds a good Hex Flash over the wall. Dean follows up with a good trap, but the TK is just so tanky, able to just take half of his health and then regen back to 3/4 with his passive.
Brewer might be able to clear the wave safely into Vex at this point in time, but I feel like if she gets more mana, or not more mana, more damage, and he has to keep walking up, I think it is going to be hard for him to farm at some point, so he might look into rotating into Ornn at some point. Maybe putting the Darius in, but I don't know. I think that could be an issue, but especially like with Ivern and Rel and Caitlyn all having a lot of dashes, I think Vex is a really powerful pick this game, and I wonder if Andromeda was thinking about the fact that they'd likely be playing into a more mobile team, but could just be that it's comfort for Sar, but we had seen him pick Syndra the last couple of games, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Sar finds a roam in the bot lane while his jungler's taking Dragon. Dad almost manages to land the W, picking up the Caitlyn, but not quite going to be able to get it. Maybe if Coffee pushes fast enough here, he can get R and try and contest, but I don't think it's going to happen. Caitlyn's already back-based. As Beam picks up the Drake on the bottom side, trading that for the grubs that Rift Shark picked up on top. I think looking at the picks, you'd expect Rift Sharks to have control over that Drake early, but with a Caitlyn, Darius, and an Echo, having grubs is going to be super valuable in the late game. As Gnome looks for a gank in the top lane, Arnia is going to be able to just E out, and no harm, no foul. Nothing really happens. Yeah, but this game is, at this point, like dead even. Literally 0 gold difference, maybe like 50 gold difference. Okay, well, somehow that just went up. But dead even game, 8 minutes in. First blood going over to Andromeda gives them a very slight advantage in intangibles, but
yeah, I do think the scaling advantage for Andromeda probably makes that not as good as for Rift Sharks as it could be. They definitely want to lead at this point in the game with the more early game sided draft.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, they drafted the Darius and the Caitlyn. They're trying to get ahead here.
And Avery getting a pull off here is starting to stack his passive. Could have an angle to get a dive off, but it looks like he's just going to back out. This is by far the slowest game we've had of Frostbite. I think both teams are kind of realizing that it's a do or die kind of game, so they want to play more conservatively. No flashing in, is able to grab the root and
aggressively.
Lets PB go in, but Dad's just going to be able to press W and get out there. Avery now ghosting in for a potential play under tower, but I don't think he's going to get it. Was not a -1 there, although we are at 15 currently. That's a cannon dying that I will count specifically because we just brought it up, but I think there's a low chance of anyone getting it.
We were going in on a Sarvis. Sarvis not able to get the fear to prevent him from continuing, and trading really aggressive, trading really well here from Brewer. As Sarvis is out of mana, might look to back here. PB clearing some vision, maybe trying to look for a dive here, but he spots Bean out on his Grump and not gonna play any more aggressive than that.
Yeah, Rift Sharks was able to get a plate there, also got a plate top lane, so they're making slow progress towards that first tower, but I don't think anything significant yet. But Sarvis is getting stunned under tower, takes a lot of damage there, and is actually forced to flash just in fear of getting ulted on by Brewer there.
Yeah, Brewer is doing such a good job of finding good trades onto Sarvis. And I mean, with Grubs coming up in 20 seconds, that's exactly what you want. The enemy mid laner is out of lane. You see the jungler mid, you can perfectly set up for that and try and get that second objective with your Rift Sharks. And we also see Brewer and Coffee running up for that. Actually, never mind. Coffee's running back down to bot lane. We do see Brewer running up, PB running up for that grub take just to make sure that they can get it, but it doesn't look like Andromeda's going to try and contest. That's just going to be 6 grubs going to Rift Sharks. And if you're Rift Sharks, in lieu of getting ahead, I would be pretty happy with 6 grubs, because that's going to make sure that you can get that first tower even faster. Plus, this is your second objective take, so if you can contest that dragon and get it, you're basically locked in for the feats of strength.
Yeah, it looks like this dragon is possibly going to be able to be contested by Andromeda, though. They seem to be rotating in a way that sets them up a little better for it. I think Jinx has taken a more recent base here, and they're walking back to lane, which is going to put them in a better position than the Caitlyn is. If Rift Sharks want to have a good time contesting it, they just need to shove out bot lane and try to make sure their jungler's in the area. Echo is on a more recent base than Vex, but he's down a completed item to Sarvis.
Yeah,
that is going in for the engage, but it's dodged out by the net Caitlyn.
Yeah, and I'm honestly worried that Caitlyn's not going to be doing any damage at all in these team fights. She has 2 attack speed items. That is not what you want. That is not what you want if you're a Caitlyn. You want to be getting that BF fight early, but that's exactly what Jinx has right now.
Yeah, I had some unfortunate amounts of gold when I backed, and I was not saving up. PB is able to find the engage here, hits 2 with his ultimate. Sarv dropping down super low, but is eaten by Dad, and Sarv is walking out super low. Dad also able to escape barely. Sarvis is going to get hit with the Caitlyn ult, which is going to allow her to fall down to the rel, but Brewer just got tossed around in the middle of that fight here, and I think Avery had also died at this point. Bean running down is able to find the kill onto Caitlyn, and now it's a 2v4 for the Rift Sharks. And Noam is
just
not
hitting
going
off
to
the backside.
Yep.
Oh wow, that was a crazy W by Dad. I did not know he could go over the wall there. It is going to chase down Noah and make sure that he's not able to contest. Really bloody fight for both sides. I mean, it was actually, how did only one person die on Andromeda there? They were all so low. All the health bars were so crazy. If Avery got a single kill in that fight with a reset, that would have been insane.
Yeah, I do want to watch that back because I didn't catch him dying in the fight. Oh, he's here.
And I mean, look at Coffee's
Oh
positioning.
yeah, that damage
Here
is
he
off from Starving Coffee.
And Coffee is completely untouched in the back of this fight. Only now Dean starts hitting him, but I mean, at this point, it's a little too late. Really well positioned by Coffee, able to pump out damage that whole time.
Yeah,
Can you tell I'm an
just
ADC player?
so much.
I'm only been talking about bot. Yeah. Oh, well fought by Andromeda, able to kite that out really well and prevent anyone from dying.
And Guru's actually TPing in here, possibly looking for something on the backside of it. Knows that they're all low health, but maybe he was trying to capture Tahm Kench here, but Kench was just able to finish his recall.
As Dad gives him a little taunting in all chat. These all chatters, can you believe it? Back in my day, wasn't allowed.
It's Frostbite, and it's all in good fun.
Yeah. And that is, again, not great for Rift Sharks. They still have a bunch of healthy turrets, so you're still in it. It's 2-2 on objectives. Top lane turret is surely going to die pretty soon. All of Rift Shark's turrets are healthy, so you still have a chance at the feats, but I mean, that Tahm Kench is going to be so hard to kill with your comp. I mean, all you have for tank killing is a Yuntal Caitlyn who's not online yet, who's behind. It's not going to be a fun mid game into a 3-0 Tahm Kench.
Yeah, that's definitely not true. Or that's definitely true, sorry. Not good and true at the same time. Avery has been able to stay even in CS in lane. We're just a bit behind, but now they're looking for a play together. Arnie's fully stacked up, but it gets stopped because Sarvis and Bean are able to show up to the fight in time to kind of dissuade it. Otacon is going to be towards bot side. The only major fight happening, having been on drag, and then the kill in bot lane earlier, totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And Dad just walking at him. There's so little that they can do to Tahm Kench. He has like 2k health already.
Yeah, you're not killing this Tahm Kench right now, unfortunately. Jinx finishing up the Yuntal, gonna start getting that stack. I assume on back, yep, Caitlyn's gonna get it as well. So both ADCs honestly pretty even in gold. Bean with a 20 CS lead, but down a kill is kind of evening it out.
Yeah, I was up like 30 gold, but that doesn't really matter. Avery ghosting in, could be able to find a kill here. Drops the ulti, doesn't think he's going to be able to finish
so
off the kill.
little damage on fully stacks.
Yeah, it's because he was level 10. If he waited to level, it would deal a bit more, but...
Yeah, and Arnie is just able to pop his refillable pot and stay in lane longer. With that Bramble Vest and the Sunfire Cape complete onto Arnie, it's going to be so hard for Avery to
another dive here, though. It is spot out on the ward. They're at least able to grab the tower, and now they could look to finish it off, but Arnie just using the second dash to get himself out quicker.
Dean with some good movement, taking a really good trade onto Coffee under tower there, forcing the Jinx to back off so that she doesn't get ulted and die. As Rift Sharks is going to use that tower they just got top to try and take Herald or set up for it at least, but I don't think they have the health bars to do expected Avery being that low.
Yeah, Jinx and Caitlyn both rotating up. It looks like Caitlyn could have gotten the bot tower, but decided to abandon it since top tower was already taken on that play onto Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, this is really the critical thing you have to be careful of right now, because this is the precipice for the feats of strength, right? Both teams are at 2 objectives. Both teams have either first tower or first blood. I mean, you have to contest this with all 5 members.
Yeah, and both teams have committed all 5. Avery is going to be the last one here, but it's pathing that direction. Bushes are getting put down by Ivern, but Dad and Arnie positioning so far forward. Both have over 2,000 health already. It's going to be really hard for Rift Sharks to take them down.
And I mean, poor PB just has to stand there looking at him because he knows even if he goes in, his team can't follow up.
And Bessa is already starting the Rift Herald, and it looks like Rift Sharks is rotating up that direction. PB, the sole member Natsu, looking to go over the wall with the Blast Cone here. Avery is now getting focused, but PB looking to go in. Flash engage, hits 3 with the ultimate, immediately devoured. Coffee spit out to the back of the fight. Full health, completely out of reach of Rift Sharks, and is just free hitting. Vex was able to find the first kill of the fight onto Ivern. And now Dean trying to kite Arnie, but Arnie is just not taking any damage. And Coffee is just getting to free hit onto PB, but he's not really doing too much damage either. Both of these ADCs only on Yuntal, not able to do too much. Dean immediately flashing away from the Ornn ultimate, but then walks back into range of Bean. Avery was looking for the ult reset there, but wasn't able to find it. The damage carries for Andromeda just doing so much there, and Andromeda's just team fought them the last 2 objective fights, and that's going to secure feats of strength for Andromeda.
Yeah, and I mean, we see the problem with Richark's comp, and I mean, it's blind pick, so you kind of just lose the coin flip there, right? Where you have no good sustained damage other than the Darius. The Darius is behind. I mean, Caitlyn is building a Yuntal, which is the right build into lots of tanks, but you don't have the lethal tempo, so it just feels bad.
Yeah, I kind of had to hedge my bets with the runes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no knowing. Fleet Footwork's a safe option to take, right? You don't know what lane you're into, but it's just unlucky that you're into 3 tanks.
Yep, and no, I'm going for the steal there. It does burn the flash, which I think he's going to regret later, but gets taken down, is not able to find the smite. And that is soul point for Andromeda at 18 minutes. And something we were talking about on the cast earlier is just how quickly these souls are happening because of the pressure to get epic monsters quickly for the feats.
And I mean, if Andromeda gets this next Drake, which with gold where it is right now on their team and the amount of gold they have, it's looking very likely. I mean, that's a Cloud Soul. It's looking kind of rough for Rift Sharks, because you're playing a comp that really needs to just run at you, and Andromeda having that extra kiting power is going to suck.
Yeah, it's certainly not ideal. We've been seeing a lot of Chem Souls is a bit stronger than that. Brewer now healing back most of the HP he lost in the trade with that ultimate, is able to get his Electrocute back onto Sarverus, but not able to find too much damage in return, but definitely is able to even out that trade by using his ultimate.
And good awareness from Gnome as well with that cross map redemption, knowing that that they were fighting there. Good communication. You don't see that very often.
But Otacon has spawned now. It's the gray one, which means that it's the roses. I learned this from Gnome yesterday. And it is being started up by the Rift Sharks. It's going to be a tough one to kill. It does have that regen circle, but they're positioned aggressively, have Caitlyn traps cutting off the bush entrance, but the river entrance is still pretty vulnerable for them. Avery's going to be a little late to this fight, and they have not managed to take Otacon down. Jinx Rocket now hits in and knocks Gnome to basically no health, and he immediately gets ulted by Bean. Really good ult synergy there, and they're trying to get enough damage down into Bean, but he just gets eaten by Dad, spit out. Avery's on the backside of the fight, has to 1v3 here, and they're still trying to kill Dad, but they just don't have any damage to do it. Sarverus is just kind of walking up, and this should be a free Otacon for them. Gruer now getting knocked up, gets hit with the Vex ultimate, but now it goes in, pulls Vex into PB and Dean. They're both going to fall down, and Gruer is going to be able to survive here. It's not a 5-death team fight for them this time. But yeah, not good for Rift Sharks. First team fight was 6 kills, 1 to 5. This one was 5, or the next one was 5 kills, and then this last one was 4. So they're progressively getting less bloody, but just as bad for Rift Sharks every time.
Yeah, these team fights are not... Andromeda is not giving Rift Sharks an inch in these team fights. Not a single kill going down since that first team fight. And it's getting more and more out of Rift Sharks' hands here. I mean, you have the Jinx on probably going to back onto 2 items here, if I'm being completely honest. Or not quite, but, you know, once Jinx gets that IE, it is going to be so hard to team fight. And like you said earlier, a second ago, with them just not being able to kill Dad, you have this unkillable frontline Arnie and Dad on the side of Andromeda, and unfortunately, you don't have a sustained damage ADC to deal with that. As the next objective coming up isn't for a little bit. There's another minute and a half until Drake comes up. So both teams probably just gonna try and keep waves shoved in, make sure that they have map presence to set up for that.
Yeah, Gruer could be in a bit of a tough spot here. The revives are present for...
Gruer is just dead. that was way faster than I thought he would die.
Yeah, I got thrown off. I think the indicator for Otacon chose the wrong one or something. I don't know. It was the revive one, not the flowers one. I thought it was the flowers one. I clearly don't know what's up. But Coffee able to get so much damage down to Dean here. The Redemption is going to heal him up a little bit, and a huge shield coming down from Ivern, but Avery's going to be the first one to fall in the fight. Coffee falling down to half. The traps are helping Caitlyn out a little bit, but they just have to retreat from this, and that's a member lost on the bot side, and then a member lost in that fight. They're just not able to find anything. Next Dragon spawning in 30, and that's going to be Soul for Andromeda if they can get it. And why not? They're up 8,000 gold. He's laughing because I have to cast my own team's demise.
Yeah, I mean, Noam trying his best to save the tower here, but not much he can do into this team. Coffee getting excited in real life too, running way, way far forwards out of mana, not going to be able to continue the fight there. Yep. Coffee
and
doesn't have...
the revives did actually just fall down. Dad now getting collapsed on is not going to end up dying.
Okay,
the Q return does get him, but you're trading for Brewer, and that's a member that you do want alive for this dragon fight. Although getting Tahm Kench is pretty good. He's been probably the biggest pain in Ripshark's side this game, so him getting knocked down is not terrible for them, and they are just going to go ahead and start up this dragon. Arnie just running top. I think they're fine giving one over.
Yeah.
Bean is playing in range though, has ultimate. If he's able to gap close in, it could be a good steal.
Bean has been pretty good about stealing objectives in this.
And it looks like he's just going to let that one go, but Jinxar coming in gets some damage down. Bean's now retreating. He's super low. He's not going to fall down here. PB now dropping down super low. Avery actually is able to secure the kill, and that's the second kill going down onto Vex. One for Darius, one for Caitlyn, and it looks like Arnie's just going to be able to run out here. Arnie taking some damage, getting chased by Daisy, but that's not going to be a kill. And that is the first one Team Shark for Rift Sharks all game.
Yeah, that's the first Team Shark win for Rift fights there. It's looking a little...
Is that what I said?
There is a little bit of a glimmer of hope here, but I imagine it's going to soon be snuffed out. I don't see a realistic way that Rift Sharks comes back from this, especially since you're losing the scaling battle even if you were ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. At least we got something. We've narrowed the gold lead down by about 2,000. It went from 8 to 6. So
yeah, picking up those 3 bounties is really big.
Yep. I think the rest of the games today have one of the 3 of our teams in it. So if we just... Actually, I think Honan has a step in. I'm sure he can hear us, but he did join.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we just all want to cast the games that we're not in, I think that might be the easiest way to do it. So I can meet up for the rest of the one.
Alright.
Get this one.
Yeah, your voice sounds like you're dying. All right.
Yeah. Stop talking.
It's been a while.
All right. Yeah. Have
nice
you?
To hear that.
Yeah. Welcome, Honan.
Right. You know, when I saw this game, when I started cooking my fucking fried rice, it didn't look so bad for Rift Sharks. And then I sat down on my computer again.
Yeah, a lot has happened since then. Rift Sharks, Andromeda, honestly, they're really far ahead right now, but they've been playing really slowly and methodically, making sure they're not giving up anything that they don't have.
Dad loves to make these little bush plays. Loves making people like double guess if they can walk into vision or not. He's very good at that.
Yeah, and I mean, on a champion like Tahm Kench, you can't walk into him.
I mean, like, you can if you want to have a gray screen for a little bit, you know, take a break. Massage your hands, get a drink of water.
Yeah, Tahm Kench converts his gray health into your gray screen, unfortunately, this game. As Arnie going in for something, not going to be able to get any knock-up, as Dad hits a double... Dad licks Dean, but again, Dean has a good trap line set up here. It's going to be hard for... It's going to be hard for Andromeda to push into him here, but it's also going to be hard for him to push into Andromeda.
Does Dean do damage? I mean, Dean whips the ultimate, but like, how many autos was that on Dad? And he just kind of walks it off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, unfortunately, Caitlyn is not the ADC that you want to be playing in this game. As a big teamfight breaks out. Oh, Starburst lands a big ult onto Dean, and he's just going to fall down immediately. Misses the next R, as PB's next on the chopping block. Going to fall down to the rest of the team.
That's just tragic. Dad finds the final lick. Coffee's gotten resets, and he's gonna do some damage to Brewer. No, I'm definitely gonna back off. Daisy falls down. Looks like they're gonna turn on to Baron here in a moment. TP going
Yeah.
down to stop everything going topside.
Yeah, they're not going to try and get anything mid. They're just going to turn straight onto the Baron.
Yeah.
Again, I think Andromeda is ahead enough where they can play more aggressively. I think they probably could have taken the inhib there, but they're choosing to play very slowly
Avery's
and
gonna
methodically.
distract them.
Yeah,
Call him Henry Stickmin the way he's doing the distraction dance right now. They could have gone for the Baron, but they just decided to pick up the Darius instead.
yeah. I mean, the Darius is still applying pressure top lane. He forced Rift Sharks. I mean, Andromeda to make the choice there. Either you lose top turret or you lose the Baron, and it seems like Andromeda chooses to lose the Baron.
Well, how do you stop this Tom Kench from existing? This champion is disgusting.
You don't.
Oh. I mean, Sarvis lands the first part of Vexar, decides, you know, better to not take that right now. Hey, stop, you're an ADC player, right?
I am.
Is it better for Jinx to get IE upgraded by Ornn or Yuntal?
Well, that would be a question for an Ornn player. I think generally the wisdom is always upgrade IE. I don't know how the Yuntal upgrade compares to that, but in the past it's always been IE, IE, IE.
IE.
My little butterfly.
He knows! Chat, he knows! Chat, I'm so cooked.
Dad walking into a trap and taking none of his health bar.
In fact, I think he healed off that.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Continuing
If he
to
took
lick the
second
horse.
wind off his runes, I mean, you know?
Oh my goodness. PB's horse is gonna start rusting like crazy.
Call Dad a ghost type because they can't seem to land anything on him. And he has the
licking.
ability to lick. Yeah. You know, 45% chance to hit a paralyze as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, Dean putting down these traps, locking up the choke, but
Oh, Gru's got a nice
Andromeda has
flank
position
there.
on the objective. As yeah, like you said, Gru looking for the flank, and Sarvis lands another fantastic ult onto the backline. Able to go onto PB and Dean, but he's gonna get stunned up. He is able to pick up Dean, but he's gonna fall in response. Avery trying to go deep and do the same, but he's gonna fall as well. As Brewer manages to get out of the fight, no flashing over the Drake wall to try and get out. As a flash forward and Dean landing a fantastic ult, and that's just gonna be Drake. And honestly, that's gonna be Baron as well.
Mbessa did 60% of that Ivory HP. Damn, what was that?
Yeah. And I wonder, I would imagine Andromeda's going to beeline it for the Baron here.
Yeah, Baron.
Yeah, and that's Cloud Soul on this team is so rough. Like you have a Tom Kench, you have an Ornn, you have an Mbessa, yeah. All these champions really like to just run around really fast and
now they can do
Rift
ultimate as well.
Rift Sharks with not much long range engage and like hard CC.
We'll see if Arnie takes damage here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he did.
I don't think Dean was autoing him either. No. I think Dean prioritizing hitting the wave and trying to not lose tower there is. Arnie might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Got a bit of
Brewer PB on him here.
Convergence goes down. We're going to see if he lands it. Yep.
Really good unstoppable by Arnie. He's still going to get stunned. As Tarvis flashes on top of Dean and just insta-kills him. Jinx Rocket coming in, not doing much, but Sarvis is going to continue to look potentially. He has the ult reset still up, I think.
This is 2v3.
Yeah.
Vex is looking like a tank right now with how that went.
Yeah, you cannot get through that horn. It's so crazy, as Avery's just going to get picked off in the mid lane as well. And this might be game. I mean, you have a wave-shoving bot with a Jinx. You have 45 seconds on Avery, 15 seconds on Dean. But it's going to be too late by the time Dean's up to try and set up traps. This might just be the game.
I mean, it's kind of looking like it, you know? Like, you'd have to imagine for all these Jinx resets, like, how fast do these towers melt? Hell,
yeah,
how
absolutely.
their champions melt. She's on her third reset. It's over. Or they just decide to go, you know, every objective, every tower. like completely wipe Rift Sharks off the map.
Yeah, they want to 100% Rift Sharks here.
I think their any percent would have been faster than their 100%, but you know, I guess they can P rank Rift Sharks if they wanted to.
I mean, yeah, that's what I've been saying as well, a little bit. Andromeda's playing this game really slowly, and I don't think you need to. I
don't think you should with a Jinx. I feel like with Jinx you kind of need to like pull the trigger at some point, but they're gonna win regardless. The wallet is so heavy on the side of Andromeda.
Yeah. And Coffee is comfortable just being able to walk up and hit tower with minigun. He knows that his front line's got him and that like nobody can get through them. Look at Arnya, he gets pulled in, gets headshot twice, and is full health.
Doesn't take damage. Yeah.
To be fair.
Like, it feels so bad to be Dean right now.
Hey, I headshotted the minion twice, not...
okay,
I gotta get cannon.
That doesn't make it much better. You should be one-hitting a minion with your headshot, buddy.
Hey, it's Baron and Power.
You tried. You tried.
Cannon, right?
I get it. Listen, alright, if you can... The goal at the end of this game is you one-shot a cannon minion with your headshot.
Yeah, if we can get Dean to one-shot a not Baroned up cannon minion, maybe some progress has been made in terms of champion strength. As Avery might get cut out here, gets hit by the Ornals, and that's going to be a dead Darius.
I mean,
surely this is the game.
Let's see how far we can drag this 100% out. Tom Kench runs at his enemy support and the enemy bot lane, and
Dean lands a good ultimate, and Pop is excited. Hitting so many rockets on the backline, doing so much damage. This Jinx is unbelievably strong.
That Echo ult did maybe a fifth. No, like a 12th.
That Jinx hitting the turret and doing nothing because there's no minions. Oh my goodness.
It doesn't matter, you know?
But yeah, really...
Dad attempted to int Coffee at the end of the game.
Wow.
That's the end of that one, though.
That is... a tilter of a game if you're Rift Sharks.
That's a toughie.
Andromeda extending your suffering, and I mean honestly, gapping you in all five positions.
Yeah, we were pissed off after that game. It was bad.
Yeah. Do we give MVPs? Because I honestly have no idea who to give it to.
I mean, no, not really.
I can run a marble run to see who gets MVP.
Jesus.
If you'd like that.
Anyway,
that feels unfair, you know.
I mean, hey, if I run a marble run, it's a 1 in 5 chance for each person.
We do not need to give MVPs.
Okay.
I keep forgetting that I'm muted or like double muted, so I like only whatever. You get it. So anyway, the standings moving on to the last game of the third round of Swiss. Andromeda has joined Metabusters and Fruitcakes and will play one of those two teams. Albert's Inferno versus Skaven Kill Team is going to be the last game of the day, so I think Honan is going to sit this one out. But
aren't there two games after this?
Right, so you're just going to sit the next game out.
I'm going to sit a game after this one. I'll take it.
Yeah, and then this old man's going to go to sleep for the third one.
Okay, I will set up the order so it works out that way, I think. I'll make sure the Metabusters game is last. I think that's not the order I was going to do it in, but whatever. We'll make it work.
I kind of figured that was,
just because I have Metabusters listed at the top. Okay. I'll make an exception for you, Stav. Unless you'd be fine getting ready for bed and then casting a game and then going to sleep. Because I did already make the assets. You know how it is.
All right.
Hell yeah, okay.
I can do that.
Okay, never mind. Dean saved.
Yes. But anyway, Ocean Defenders Alliance is now no longer one of the charities that could be selected as they are eliminated. I will try and pick up the speed a little bit. I felt like there was something else I was going to say. Oh, yes. I don't think I've mentioned this on stream before, but I think the people who played should know this, but the seedings and matchups for this tournament are actually just determined by a list that each team submitted, kind of indicating like how much beef they have for the other teams.
You want to show the list?
We should get some spicy matchups. No, I don't. That seems like a hassle, but
it is.
All I'm going to say is my list apparently did cause some beef.
Oh, I mean,
Did it?
I think,
I felt like your list was pretty okay.
I think the fact that you told Jonah where he was on the list is what caused the beef. I don't think the list itself is the problem. I think I'm putting you at the bottom, or I'm putting you at the top, because I think you suck. I don't think that was the move. That's not a verbatim quote, but I believe that's how it was received.
Yeah.
I put Metabusters at the top because I wanted to play them.
Yeah, well, Jonah was pressuring me into telling him what my power rankings are.
Yeah, so I will say, Alex Inferno went from needing 1 sub to now needing, I think actually they needed 2 subs both times. So Draco, one of their subs, is still playing but is now in the ADC position, and they also needed another sub, so Jacob ended up being their support for this game. So it's a bit of an interesting roster coming from them, and obviously not one we're going to see in the season because of cross-team subbings. But we do get to see Draco in another role. We got to see her play support yesterday, and now we'll get to see him move over to ADC, which should be pretty interesting. But just to take a quick peek at the highlights, Fishy versus Liav in the top lane is the key matchup, and Apari and Hong are our highlighted players. The champions to watch are here. Liav not playing Renekton this time around. We are going to see a return of the Kassadin. This is basically the exact same team comp we saw from SKT in the game yesterday. And looking on the other side, we are actually going to see Fishy play top lane Lilia again. Albert is running back the Skarner this game.
Is this the comp, or are these the champions to watch?
These are the champions to watch, and I'm reading out the comp.
Okay.
And Draco is playing the champion that they're pictured here playing, but in the ADC role instead. But let me kick us into game.
Spoiler, Stav, I'm playing Xerath again. Who could have seen this coming?
Oh no, that's crazy, dude.
I'll leave you two to it. I'll just be playing Ultra Kill in the background or Bulacho, depending on this coin flip. Let me just, Okay, it's Tails. I'll be playing Ultra Kill until I'm muted.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, so last game we saw SKT run this comp. They did swap the Xerath and Kassadin lanes. I think because of matchups, it appears they're not going to be doing it this time. They're sending Xerath into Sivir, which is basically like a bot lane matchup, and then Kassadin and Lilia, which, you know, back when people played
no idea what that
Lilia,
matchup happens.
that used to happen mid lane, maybe. But,
I have no idea how that matchup goes.
yeah, who the hell knows? Fishy's actually just noted that he's playing Electrocute, so we'll see. And there is a Nami mirror in the bot lane, which is pretty exciting. Lithy and Jacob both pulling out the Nami here. Should be fun. And as we've learned from years of Psycho Carrot Enlightenment, the enchanter who deals the most damage is actually the enchanter who wins. And unfortunately, I think that's lost to time. Although maybe I could pull it up in Captain Chat. We'll have to see.
All right, both teams playing a pretty standard level 1. I don't think either of them have any amount of invade potential, so makes sense. Just standard, nothing foolish happening. And I imagine this mid lane is going to be a really boring lane to watch. It's just 2 wave clear power farmers.
And who can hit
doing
Q
nothing
the most times. That's going to be a fun competition to see.
Yeah.
And just a reminder to everyone, any subs or donations which can be made at the link in our bio will go to the charity selected by the winner of this tournament. So if anyone wants to do that or drop a sub, all of that helps a lot, so be appreciated. But you can also contribute by counting any missed cannon minions you see on screen in Twitch chat. Right now we're at -16, or -16, -1 for each one. And I believe me, Jacob, and Noam are all going to be donating $1 for each -1 we do see on the stream. So counting that is helpful, because it's hard to do when we cast.
Yes. As we see both junglers opting to full clear here. I think I don't really know what's going on this game. Not much.
Yeah, both teams scale so hard, they are likely to just want to scale it out. Inferno's comp is pretty interesting. You're basically just playing for a fed Sivir and a fed Lilia and just throwing the enchanters on top of those guys and seeing what can be done. Liav is actually getting traded on pretty heavily in the top lane here, but his Kassadin scaled like a motherfucker last game we saw, so I would expect something similar to happen this game.
Yeah. Lithy walking up, trying to take a trade into Drago, and a really good trade by
Jacob
Dio. Oh my
actually
goodness.
rooted up there, not going to get killed. Draco able to trade a root back with that W, which is going to even out the trade a little bit, but Jacob's still the one getting the short end of the stick there.
Yeah, Dio getting a really good Q auto E to get the root off. And
Dio running in gets a lot
here.
of damage down, but that's another double stun coming down onto Dio. Makes it so hard for the Xayah to just completely commit to these fights, but bot lane of SKT is doing really well.
Yeah, SKT, Dio, and Lithy taking really good trades here. Able to keep that pressure up. Who knows, maybe we'll see an early Drake come out for them with all this prio.
Yep.
However,
And Albert has already gotten a first blood this tournament and is looking for another one here, but Liav just able to walk away, not going to get caught by that. Draco able to find a root down. Jacob gets stunned, and Dio able to grab the first blood. Honan, or Apari, is there looking for maybe an assist there. Fishy's just able to get Liav with the burn. But Apari looking to kill the backline there and try and crouch this wave. Root comes out, but they might be able to get a dive here. Oh, and Apari is just got his back canceled by Draco. I was going to say he got spotted out, but they already knew he was there. So, but good job by Draco to not get dove there. It felt like it was almost a guaranteed kill the way that SKT had it set up.
Yeah, and the problem here is that, I mean, you have Albert bot lane, and Draco's backing, but she has TP here, so there might be an angle to set up for Drake here if you're Albert's Inferno, but it doesn't look like they're going to opt for that. Instead, Albert's going to back, Draco's going to just walk back to lane.
Yeah, and grubs are going to spawn in 30 seconds. Another play that teams like to do is just wait until 6 minutes and then just take a trade of objectives. Most teams have one that they probably prefer. Fishy's been doing super well top lane. Actually had like a 16 CS lead a couple seconds ago, but I guess that all kind of went away. But trading super heavily onto Liav, and he's already gotten a solo this game.
Yeah, both junglers coming towards bot. Neither supports backing to walk up to the grubs, so this might be a Drake contest for both teams here.
Yep.
As
and
Jacob going in aggressively,
is rotating
Dio's
down
gonna try
already,
and
which
trade.
is going to turn this into a 3v3. Albert looking for an engage, but he's just double rooted up along with Jacob, and I think that's going to fizzle the play. Except Honan sitting in the bush is able to get a good amount of damage down onto Albert, but it's a Skarner. It's not really the target you want if you're looking to get a quick kill.
Yeah, Jacob narrowly missing the bubble onto Dio, and Albert's going to get out here. As Lithy almost lands the bubble onto
and
Draco.
Jacob could be in
but
trouble with
Honan
his Aerith
R's
ult here. Not going to be enough to kill, though.
We do see Honan backing and TPing back mid to prevent Teddy from getting plates. And we're kind of back to a stalemate in the bot lane. But Apari is coming here. Albert's Inferno doesn't have vision on him, as they're going to try and go in here aggressively, potentially.
Yeah, and Apari flashing in is able to find damage, drops the ulti immediately. Jacob's stunned up, so he has no way to drop a heal, which he had already done. Dio fishing for feathers, but all of them land just in front of Draco. I forgot you can heal while you're
unfortunately, Dio did have to burn both summoners there, otherwise we would have died to tower. But otherwise, pretty good dive onto Jacob, and he's going to start the game 0-2.
Yeah, you're able to force a trade, and you get something out of Albert going top to get grubs, but I don't think Albert actually is going to be in much of a good position. Liav was actually looking to take away that first grub, was smited away by Albert, but now SKT should be able to get the other two.
Yeah, and really smart play by SKT, knowing that they can't that Albert's Inferno can't contest that Drake, and instead deciding to solo it with Apari and send their two members up to contest the solo grubs that that Albert was trying to take.
Yeah, it might have been smart for Alberts to try and just commit one more member just to help take that a little faster, because they knew that they had people on map for SKT, but I think they just thought they had more time than they really did.
Yeah.
And Liav coming online with 6 is going to be absolutely terrifying. Now that Kassim has ult, he is a very scary champion, is trying his best to catch up to Fishy, but Fishy did do a really good job at the beginning of the game to keep him behind in fire.
Yeah. But getting that kill onto Albert in the grub spit is actually really big for him. He has that Darksteel, managed to get some stacks, and he's 25 CS behind, which is about a kill's worth of gold.
If I was,
a little more than a kill's worth
if I
of
was
gold.
SKT, I would have at least taken one of the grubs just to deny the feat, but they don't seem to care too much. I think they had rotated everyone away.
Yeah,
and this third one should go over.
Able to get that first stack of the feet as Draco goes in here. Litty's dropped low, but Dio's going to continue to hit in the back onto Draco. Lands a good ult, but not able to pull back the feathers to get a kill.
Now Liav going in could be looking for a play here, not going to find it, but does end up winning out on the trade.
Yeah, we do see Liav able to take positive trades now that he has ult, able to stop the Lilia from kiting him perfectly. As Jacob takes a little more damage under tower. Liav dodging the bowling ball with an ult, able to trade, but about an even trade going that time.
And Jacob
As
being
Honen's
hunted down by
gonna
Honen's
ulti.
R here, is only able to find one that connects. Is able to proc his Comet, but Karma Shield is just going to block most of that.
Yeah, honestly, those ults looked like they were headhunting Jacob. They were well placed, even though he didn't have vision.
And Honen walking up here. Hong is going to pop his Spell Shield, not going to block anything with it, so isn't going to get his little heal in. Honen has basically no mana, so it's going to be hard for him to take this wave too fast. Hong's pressuring. Neither team has been able to take a tower yet, so getting tower plates and extra damage on towers early is going to be pretty huge. Liav going in is taking a chunk of his health from Fishy, but Fishy was hit by a tower shot there, I think. Apari could be looking for a play bot side. Honen isn't going to be able to rotate to follow up, but Albert's also here, so he could see a 3v3 breakout, but Apari was looking like he was planning on basing earlier, but Draco just running in is able to grab the root immediately. Dio's going to get rooted up, and Apari's a little late to the fight, but they're able to find a kill onto Draco to start it off, maybe. And Jacob is falling down low on the other side of the fight, but isn't going to die. Only going to find one kill here, but...
yeah, really good ult by Lithy to... Really good ult by Lithy to alleviate the pressure onto Dio there. Giving her the move speed and the CC on the two members who were diving her.
Okay, he just doesn't care about the rose. Come on. You can kill it. Maybe I was wrong yesterday when I said it didn't bother me. It wasn't my screen, but... it's like right there, man. Come on. Come on.
Oh. No. Maybe Fishy takes it when he pushes in the tower.
Hopefully
here.
someone does.
Oh, there we go.
And Liav taking a lot of damage here. The Grouchy is going to come out, but Honen might be able to just pick this up, but Fishy's able to find a solo kill, and Apari is going to get the shutdown back onto him. Unfortunate that he took so long to get the kill that they were able to rotate up on him, but still good to keep up with that pressure on the Kassadin. SKT actually does have a gold advantage here, which could be something to watch. I'm honestly not sure how they do. Like, they have a few kills, but they're down like 30, 40 CS in their solo lanes. It has to basically just be through ADC, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Apari's 2 kills and 20 CS up.
They both ended with 0, so they kind of look like the same number. And Honen flashing in is able to find the stun, but getting collapsed on by Albert. But Dio just dealing so much damage, almost able to find the kill onto Hong. But Honen with the sniper Q is able to secure the kill onto Teddy. Hong running away is healed up a little bit by Lithy, and Dio not going to get killed under tower with the Skarner R. And Lithy's able to secure the kill for Dio and make sure that SKT wins out on that fight 2-0.
Yeah,
And
really
that should
well
secure
played,
Dragon,
especially by Dio and Honan. They're able to kite out the Skarner and pick up that kill on the backside, even though they were both still low.
Yep, and Apari is basically just going to one-shot here. Fishy was thinking that he had a chance at these grubs, just not going to find it. Jacob is ulting defensively to keep Fishy alive, and that should slow down the grubs and stop the kill for Apari.
But in the meantime, SKT is just taking the Drake. Jungler's not even there. Apari's showing up only now. And they're able to secure that without a trade.
Yeah, I mean, as someone said earlier in the day, it's when it's obvious that the dragon can't really be contested. I think this was actually you earlier this game. You can just send other people around, and who cares? I just try and take it. So it didn't matter too much that Apari wasn't there. Karma was the only one really that could contest it. Ult now being dropped on Hong's head, and these might actually all hit, but Apari's just going to be able to pick up the kill. 3-0 to start off this game. He'd had a couple. Or I think his first game on Kayn did not go very well, and then the second game he was prioritizing all sorts of epic monsters and ganking and wasn't farming too much, but it seems like he's found the balance here. He's up 30 CS and has been securing objectives and is 3-0. But now Fishy going in with the sleep to initiate this fight, Dio falling down super low. Lithy also getting hit with the heart seal and getting dropped, but I don't think anyone's really going to die this fight. But Skarner able to find the triple ultimate, and Lithy just falls from that immediately. Honan going to be taken down as well, and I think this is going to even out the epic monster feat this game, as this should be a pretty easy pickup for Inferno to finish off the grubs. Wait, no, one got taken away there.
Yeah, SKT got the first grub before the fight started.
Gotcha, I didn't notice. But that is actually very good for them, because now they're still up 2-1 in the epic monster. So they were able to lose 2 people there, but it doesn't ultimately matter that much. Draco could just end up dying here, is slowed by the Kayn Smite, and now Apari looking to finish this off, not going to find it.
Oh, Apari barely surviving there. I was shook when I saw Draco not use the Empowered E to try and survive there, but the slow really doing a lot of work.
Yep. And Dio going in is able to find the root down immediately, going to try and kill Fishy before the tower falls, but now you're just trading here. That is going to be first tower of the game, which... Yeah. Who got first blood?
I believe it was Dio who got first blood, and Liev fell like very shortly after.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the epic monster sen, which I would have known if I just looked at the items. But Hong is looking for another tower on the bot side of the map, but Leon's showing up, and that's someone that you do need to be a little scared of. Kassadin, now level 11, so has rank 2 ultimate.
But if you look at the top lane, Dio might just be able to get that turret. Nobody's there to contest it if she just pushes for that.
Or just rotates away and lets the minions get it.
Yeah,
but
actually, I mean, it's not first tower anymore.
Yeah.
So it's not,
Hong is getting collapsed on by Liev here. He's trying to play his space, but it's so hard into a Kassadin, especially when you have something that you're trying to pressure into the Kassadin. He's way better defensively than he is offensively, since he can not have to use so many ults to gap close. Albert not getting rooted up here is taking some damage, but is now looking to go in. Patty eventually able to take down the tower. Jaking being knocked down to half, and now Honan's dropping an ultimate.
Taking his time with these shots, and he's able to land 2 of them.
Oh my god, another 3-man ulti comboed into the Drowsy from Fishy. Huge synergy from Albert and Fishy here, but Albert not going to be able to get out. Apari is able to find the Rampage, and Draco unfortunately missing that Empowered Q, not able to find any damage from it at all, and now Fishy's taken down by Dio, and Apari able to find yet another kill for SKT. This is 3-0 for them so far, and Lithy flashing forward to heal Apari.
Oh my god, they're all so low. As Draco lands a big Empowered Q onto Lithy, taking out most of her health. If Teddy lands a Q there, it's over for her, but manages to cut out of range.
Apari in a bit of a tough spot here, trying to make sure he can get this Rift Herald to get feats, but he could end up in a sticky situation here. Lithy showing up super low health. Dio dropping Feather Sound immediately, might be able to find the kill into Draco, is actually able to find it. Apari flashes for nothing there. but now Albert getting
Albert
stunned
gets chain
up, which is going to be
so
huge.
well.
The root coming
So
through
much chain
for
CC.
Dio, and Apari now finally able to finish out the Rift Herald. And Honan should be able to secure this kill for his team, and that's a 7th kill in a row for Dio, going godlike this game.
Yeah. SKT doing really, really well to stagger their CC there. Albert was stunned for the entirety of that exchange, basically.
That is going to be feats going over to SKT, and now they can start up the Dragon, which they already have 2 of. Could be going for an early soul this game. It is going to be Hextech, I believe, which is one of the better ones. Draco running in aggressively. Honan is going to get rooted up here. He could be in trouble, but he has to flash to keep himself alive. Apari looking for a flank, but Honan just taking so much damage. Now Apari's trying to 1v1 the Skarner, which is not going to work. Honan taking out here, and Lithy's trying to trade anything back. Was able to get a knock-up onto Jacob just to slow him down. I think that may have saved her life. Jacob able to offer a lot of additional damage with this Nami pick. As in, like, making his carries do more damage, not doing damage
And as we know,
himself.
that's the most important thing for an enchanter to do.
Right, damage. I did look it up. The team that wins this has the better enchanter. Somehow Jacob ended up getting that dragon. I think Apari smited early, and then Albert didn't smite, and then Jacob got it. Who knows?
That's my support.
Then Liav just able to split push away from all this while his team is losing dragon. He's able to grab a turret on the top side, so it kind of evens out. And Albert was able to do so much in the previous games, but just not having his game this time around. I think that does show you how blind pick can really affect things, because Skarner normally does pretty well, but into the champions on the other team, it's really hard for Skarner to play. I don't know, this is Voracious Otacon, which is the revive one. Still not sure about the colors, because I think the logo for the timer is different. Like, I think it's the wrong one. But
I don't know, man. Spectator, small indie company.
True. And Albert just eating every single Honanar there. Dio walking forward should just be able to pick up that kill. Kassadin once again split pushing, and things are going well for SKT across the map. They forced the TP out of Draco, but now is looking for a root on Liav, which they actually are going to find, and now Hong trying to find it, but Liav just immediately going in. Does so much damage at this point in the game, but I don't think he's going to be able to find the kill. Gets another ultimate down, but that should have pulled enough focus away from Otacon that SKT should be able to just get it. They have Xayah there, and Xayah is one of the best objective-taking ADCs.
Yeah, now Honan showing up as well. The only person remotely in the area is Fishy, and I don't think he's going to be able to contest it. He's not playing jungle this game, but he does manage to steal a rose and get out, so big win for him.
So true. And revives are over to SKT, and even though Kassadin is dead, he's still going to get the revive when he spawns. I believe that's how it works. Fishy is going to get taken down here, just solo killed by Apari. The kill he didn't get to get earlier in the game, and this is a 6k gold lead for SKT right now.
Yeah, Apari is dominating. This is why we don't see him on the Kane very often in regular season when you're not playing blind pick. And also, just a quick note: can we talk about how blind pick is so beneficial to SKT here? I mean, they are 5-1 tricks.
You know, that's true.
So able to get all of their favorite champions that they don't normally get in regular season.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad my team didn't have to play against them. Apari now going in, looking for the kill onto Jacob to start off this fight. Might have to use ult at some point, but just has to use his withdraw instead. And Dio flashing forward also just fine using the withdraw. And they're actually able to go 2 for 2, and now Lilia's ulti is only going to secure another couple of withdraws. So that's 4 withdraws going over to Inferno, which is worth roughly a kill. And Liav just pressuring topside should be able to find a kill of his own. So this could be a 3 for 0 in terms of actual kills and half the tower taken.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you're supposed to use the draw, right? You just kind of take a fight that is very risky in the enemy base. If you lose it, who cares?
And they did get a lot out of it. They were able to get 3 kills there, and that's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the plays I really liked that I saw earlier in the tournament was the way that Metabusters used the withdraw. They took a bad. They waited until an objective spawned, took a bad fight on the objective, went like 3 for 3, and then everybody came back and they just took the objective. Yeah. SKT is looking to continue this siege, getting really deep
Leon
vision.
is level 16, so I think he's just gonna. Yep, only takes 2 ults to kill someone now. I mean, and the rest of the combo in the middle. But Albert trying to get out here is just getting kited by Dio. The Heart Seal auto does do a lot, but not enough to really flip this.
Yeah,
Dio
really
has
showing
2 items, but hasn't even hit 3 items yet, so isn't going to be super online as Sivir. He does have a Flame Horizon in the mid lane, though, so that's definitely not something to laugh at. Liav able to find another solo kill there, and I think if he walked up towards Jacob and Hong, he could find some more kills too. But Dio going to be the one to get the kill onto Hong, and now Liav's hunting for the Nami's head, forces the flash out. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
This is a level 17 Kassadin. He has rank 3 ultimate. He is just going to destroy you.
Yeah,
and
3 item Kassadin is 3 item level 17 Kassadin. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, and we're having 2
4 levels up on
complete
his 8-0 ADC. It is 9-0 ADC right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. And 2 complete stomps in round 3 of Swiss. I think this is the downside of blind pick, but it certainly makes this tournament more fun to watch. And, getting to stream it is kind of the point. So apologies to the blind pick gods, or blind pick haters, whatever. SKT just completely stomped this game. Well played 2 Inferno though. They were able to grab a game against Rift Sharks, and they are unfortunately now eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah, and
4 of us were on 1 tricks.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell him. Yeah.
And
so anyways,
after that game, the standings are as follows. Skaven, Kill Team, and Andromeda were able to secure their spots in round 3 of Swiss. I think Skaven was able to win their second game, and Andromeda ended up winning their first game. Which means that Metabusters and Fruitcakes are going to be matched up versus Andromeda and Skaven based off of which teams they prioritize. And I believe Metabusters did end up versus Andromeda, and Fruitcakes ended up against Skaven. So we will see that in the initial stage of the bracket. And so at this point of the tournament, we actually do have drafts available to us. So we're done the blind pick stage. So these teams can finally actually work on their drafts and show off what the games in the season are going to look closer to. But Stav, if you don't mind, send this one out so Honan and I can tackle your game.
Wow, how rude.
Yep.
Fine,
yeah,
whatever.
I'm sorry, Stav,
over
you've
it.
been kicked out of the Big Boys Club.
I'm over it.
Damn, over already?
Okay, so Metabusters is running Korn, and then Stav in the jungle, Tusini mid, Brandon ADC, and Jackson support. So we're getting to see 2 players that did not actually play during the Swiss stage, as this is the next day of this tournament being played. And Andromeda is running the same lineup that we've seen from them so far this tournament, with Dad as their support. So give me a second to get this in place.
The Dad support iteration is kind of going back to their roots, you know? Kind of going back to that old formula that won Season 7.
That's true.
We'll see how it works out. I think this roster is going somewhere. I'll admit, I
So
made my
let me-
power rankings without actually cognitively realizing, oh, that's Dad and Arnie on the same roster again.
Yeah, so trying to scroll around to the part where we actually had a draft in this game. I was able to find it.
You'll get there eventually, old man.
Yep. So just going to scroll through the highlights real quick. We do have champions to watch. Twitch jungle is definitely on the table for Sav. It's something he's played a few times in signups. Tusini's Lux, we already saw this tournament. It was insane. Brandon's 4-1 on Caitlyn could be something that comes up. And Jackson's champion to watch out for and support is actually Tom Kench. And I don't really think I need to say much about Korn's Darius. Speaks for itself. But over on Andromeda, we do have Arnie's Renekton, probably something that's going to end up getting through with all the champions who want to ban away from the rest of the team. Bean's best jungler is 8-3 Darius, which is crazy that he's played Darius jungle 11 times, and everything else, the KDA, the win rate, that's all incredible too. Captain Coffee and Dad Ash Bard as their featured lane here, and then Sarveris, we already saw him perform on this Syndra pick. Could be something to watch out for in draft. The key matchup here is going to be Tusini versus Sarveris. I think this is something that we brought up earlier because I believe this is a rematch between these two teams. We did try to avoid these, but I believe Fruitcakes has played, or no, maybe I don't know. What something worked out so that there was going to be a repeat matchup anyway. So
we also already played Fruitcakes earlier, so
right, yeah. I think Fruitcakes had played both, and Metalusters had already played him, and whatever. This just worked out so people got to play against the teams they like to play against, and oh well. I just wanted to be on record that we did try. But Tusini up 3-2 in this matchup, which is very close. Sarveris does have the better KDA advantage, and they've all played 5 unique champions, and I will say that we're seeing 2 more unique champions in this matchup come out this time around. But other than that, I won't spoil draft too much until we can actually hop and look at it. Stav and Dad are the featured players on either team, but here is the draft that was played. And these are not right. So here, let me fix this and let me hear your thoughts on this draft.
Okay, what are you trying to fix? Because if you're talking about the draft, this looks kind of stock standard.
I'm talking about the record. Andromeda is not 0-0.
Andromeda is not 0-0, yeah. I mean, this looks about what I'd expect from Andromeda. Coffee's been enjoying these like more safe hyper carries, like Jinx, Ash kinda, more utility in his kit as well with the Varus. So they're kind of picking to have this disgusting front line and then have their ADC in the back to facilitate with tank support. I mean, Dad loves his rel. I think he's probably the most cognizant in terms of using his support pool. I'm surprised he didn't take the Bard, I'll be honest. But maybe the Bard here just didn't work.
It was not banned away. Victor Singed and Silas were all banned away, I think. 2 of those targeted at Sarveris, one of them definitely at Bean. And looking at the bans coming out from... now I didn't fix it for Metabusters. Look at the bans coming out. We're just hitting all the main champions over towards the Metabusters top side. Bot lane was kind of left alone because I think Brennan and Jackson are not some of the most well-known players on Metabusters, so it makes sense that bans weren't necessarily directed at them. Not because they're not
their favorite champions.
Scary on their mains, just because it's less well-known what their mains are.
I'll be upfront. I saw Brandon and Jackson. I was like, who?
Yeah.
Who?
But how do you not know who Jackson is?
Because I'd never played with the guy. I mean, all I know is that he's
been around since
Cho'Gath
before
player.
You were.
All I know is he's a Cho'Gath player, dude. Come on.
This is shade. This is
my
god, disgusting.
Well, now,
but anyway,
now Jacob's in for Metabusters, so maybe the assets are a lost cause, Dean. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, so Metabusters is denying away the Syndra. It's a champion that both of these players can play, but Sarveris is the one to look out for. And now oh my god.
Yeah.
I will fix it eventually.
I think the Syndra pick away is good. Ducini he was taking away Syndra into Gruer, so it makes sense that he'd take it away from Sarvis. Also, I'm not sure if Stanley was playing in this game.
No, he was not. He was not. It's the same roster that we've been seeing from them. I just forgot to update.
Yeah. Where's my goat dad? Also, yeah, the Caitlyn into this draft, Renekton, Swain, and Ambessa aren't exactly building the most amount of armor. Rel might be a problem for the Caitlyn later on, but I think the Caitlyn's gonna have a pretty good time. You gave this champion two gigantic
Here we go.
two gigantic meat walls and 2 forms of peel, so the Caitlyn enjoying this draft. Jinx also kind of enjoying this draft. You kind of got all the things you want a Jinx to have. Sans, like, I don't know, Lulu Karma / Nami in bot lane.
They don't have too much that can directly just get on top of Jinx's head, which is good for her too. They have some long-range abilities with Syndra and Caitlyn, but everything else is mainly just targeting the front line, so Coffee should have a good time just free hitting here.
That brand is a huge pickup though for Metabusters. That champion's disgusting in these kind of comps.
Yeah, seeing the Swain picked in, I guess it was still up as a flex from support to mid. I don't know if it's even good support anymore, but whatever.
That's good.
But they made a good adaptation to just throw Brandon because it can deal with Swain pretty well. You deal so much burn, and it's really easy for you to itemize anti-heal. But we can't just hop into game here. I think Dad can be trusted to get some good ults off onto Caitlyn and Syndra and kind of get things going the way they need to.
Alright, give me your opinions, old man. What do you think about this game?
I mean, I think it's a lot harder for Metabusters to play because their comp is a little weird, but I think if any of the champions on the bottom side for them get fed, they're going to be so hard to deal with, especially with the front line that can be offered by Amumu and Mundo. And I honestly don't think Jinx is going to have the easiest time to hit anyone besides those two, and it's really easy for them to be tanky. So it really comes down to Sarvis being able to live long enough in these fights to get stuff done to deal with them. And that means it's kind of up to Arnie and Bean to have ways to get into the backline. So I think Andromeda really needs more of their players to have a good start to the game, whereas Metabusters can probably get away with only 2 or 3 of their champions getting super fed, which I think does make it a little easier for them. But Andromeda's comp is way more solid and a lot easier to execute in an even game.
I just think that, like, Brand is... these pings, these guys are amazing. I just think the brand is so game warping, honestly, for this kind of draft that, like, you have to accelerate bot lane for M31. And it's not just about that, but you also need to put the enemy bot lane behind or else...
Brandon is caught out here, but they don't know Jackson's all the way back there. He's getting some early damage onto Coffee, but now Jackson's kind of pinched out. Coffee able to free hit a little bit, but Brandon's already gotten so much damage down onto him, I think. And Metabusters is the one winning out this trade.
Yeah, Caitlyn got, like, 2 headshots off on the Coffee, and he's already fought. Brand W goes down as well, and yeah, this is gonna be a poor laning phase for Coffee's health bar. That's a tough one.
Mundo is going to be a huge problem as we get later into the game. He's just going to get a bunch of health, one of the strongest scaling champions in the game. And it should do a good job matching into Jinx's scaling. She'll have a lot of damage, but she'll have a lot of health to get through for him, since she doesn't really get any % HP damage.
I mean, we're about to find out what wins, Rock or Rock. Ticini misses the QE there on the Sarvis, and he hits him with the Eldritch Hand back. You know, not a whole lot else to say there, I'm be for real.
Yep. Korn losing out on these early trades is probably just going to be a little behind until he hits 6 and can just sustain the fight, so it's going to be really hard to force a kill onto him. I think for First Blood, we're either looking at a gank towards mid lane once Syndra has 6, or something early in the bot lane with Brand able to get an early burst.
Wayne gets full combo off there, that is plus 50 HP, roughly.
I'm watching these cannons. We'll have to see if anyone's able to miss one. Looks like we're not going to see him die in either lane. Oh, okay, that's another -1. Okay, so we're at 17. Korn not able to get that one.
Speaking of Corn, he actually goes in on Arnie here, knows he can actually take the fight.
Gets him down super
two
low.
Qs land.
And he's actually able to snipe him with the Q.
Blood.
Yeah, really well played by Corn there. Just finds the opportunity and just starts running him down. No summoner spell is exhausted from either team. And now Bean's looking for a good flank here. Dad able to find the stun and the follow-up engage. Forces double sums out of Brandon. They're looking to take him down, get a lot of damage down, but he walks into a Caitlyn trap. And I don't think they're going to find the damage onto Brandon. Even if they had, it wouldn't have been early enough to get first blood. So advantage to Metabusters so far this game.
Yeah, it's actually really good that Metabusters bot lane gets to get out there for free. Sarvis gets hit with the Syndra combo, forced to use Flash with the appearance of Stav.
Yeah,
very nice.
That's that mid lane gank that I was talking about that we could see coming for Metabusters. Not able to find the kill, but did force Sarvis Flash out, which I think is going to be super important in later fights.
I think in this lane, right, like getting a Flash out it's just so good. Well, I mean, no, go on.
Okay. So I'm saying, I think public opinion generally puts Sarvis just a little bit over Tusini. They shared MVP last season, but I think Tusini got first mid, but I think a lot of that was just due to the fact that he was on a more winning team, and I think Sarvis got a lot more praise for how much he was able to carry Andromeda. It seems like the team behind him has really filled out this year. They were able to make a lot of changes, and SKT really able to clump up on their new team and fill in a lot of gaps, and it feels like this team's more specifically built around Sarvis this time around, with being in a way where he can support him more directly. So I think we could see a big season from him coming out here. However, Tusini is having the advantage in this game. Corn looking for another kill though, is going to flash and is able to find it here.
Double flashes come out from Arnie and Corn. Corn actually picks up the kill though. He's just trading so well into Arnie. Just anytime he gets a big enough health advantage, he just all-ins. Speaking of all-in, 2E lands, and that's an extra shard for Tuccini. He's really scaling up on this Syndra, like, really hard. In this mid-game, he's gonna be a terror.
Yeah, this Swain pick is gonna have a lot of power into the Mundo and Amumu regardless, because I don't think they're ever gonna have enough damage to really kill him. But if Syndra can just one-shot him every fight, then it's not gonna matter too much. And her having the Scatter the Weak is also a really good tool to stop Swain from keeping his ult going on for too long. I almost would have liked to see a Ghost for him this game, but you'd have had to sacrifice Teleport because I think the Flash is just too important. Jackson is just walking up, taking an early rotate up to Grubs. They're trying to get both Epic Monster stacks for the first spawns of Grubs and Dragon. Tusini just trading super heavily here. Early game so far has been super in favor of Metabusters. However, Bean looking for a gank here is just going to force the flash out of Tusini right away. Doesn't want to even consider getting hit by it. But now the root coming out from Sarvis. Bean has already left, and now Sarvis going in looking for something, but just is not going to be able to find it. That scatter, as I talked about earlier, is just too strong.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Ticini's probably pinging Sarvis' ultimate button saying "worf, worf, worf." Chompers goes down. They don't really find anything, but Brandon's zoned up a little bit of CS, and Coffee can get a rocket in, I guess. Arnie is, you know, the lane's not getting any better right now. Even with the tower shot taken, it does kind of feel like Mundo won the health trade there.
Yeah, Mundo is going to have his ultimate. Both of their ultimates do heal him a little bit. I think Mundo's is going to be more impactful, and Renekton not having a wall to block here is super important, but both of them ult at basically the same time. Corn missing an axe there, which I think could matter a lot. If he's able to find this Q, it is going to get him the kill, which does happen. Jackson is caught out here, but is able to flash away, but now gets followed up by Bean. A lot of brand burns coming down onto the enemy team, but he's not 6 yet because he rotated up to help Rift Herald. Brandon almost finds a kill into Bean, not going to be able to find it, and this should be a double kill coming out from Andromeda here, but they're able to trade one back. Brandon was able to grab a kill, and now Dad's trying to run away from Tusini. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. But Tusini is going to get collapsed on by 3 people, so he might just have to grab this one kill and leave. Immediately gets stunned up by Dad, but now he can look for the kill onto Bean, which he's not going to be able to do. He does drop the R, though, and he's able to find it. Might have been better for Bean to just stay out to avoid dying. I think Sarvis would have gotten that no matter what.
Yeah, trading back is pretty good for Metabusters, though. I mean, Bean with a little bit of a lapse of judgment is going to give Tuccini his final shard, if I'm correct, actually. I don't know how many shards this guy's been getting, but like he's probably on like 2-3 ability upgrades at this point.
40, yeah. So
Oh yeah, 2. That Syndra's going to be hurting real good by the time the next grub spawn.
Yeah. How does Syndra work exactly? It's 40. So I think it's just her Q that's upgraded.
Okay.
I think the first 20 don't do anything.
I have no
and
idea.
Jackson does get rooted here, and Coffee looking to get a kill here and then a reset. Jackson now just hit 6, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Is only able to get 1 bounce with his ultimate, which is not really what you want to see. Andromeda bot lane able to find some success here.
Really good chompers put down by Coffee. He just catches Jackson completely off guard, and yeah, gold on Jinx. Never gonna complain about gold on Jinx.
Yeah,
Arcane
what I'm kind of
champion
concerned about is Metabusters only needs 1 more objective to get feats, but Stav goes on really good ult drops, immediately be able to pick Coffee off here, and any progress that Andromeda seems to make instantly gets traded back over to the Metabusters, and Syndra's already rotated down there just in case that play went south, but with this lead that they're accumulating towards the bot side of the map, it's going to help them out a lot with Dragon, and even if they don't get that, their 3-0 Mundo is probably going to be pretty helpful on Grubs.
Yeah, he just keeps landing ukuleles.
Yep.
I think those are. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mundo dodgeball once again prevailing. Yeah, no, that was a pretty good play by Stav. How long was he sitting in that bush for?
He
gets
like
paid off for
10-20 seconds, but yeah, he was there quite a while. I think the really sucky thing for Andromeda here, though, is that both objectives are going to spawn at the same time. So even if you're able to defend one, Metabuzzers can always just trade the other one. So they're looking to dive pretty aggressively at this point in the game to try to stop them having from enough people alive on the map to really cross-contest. But in doing so, they've overcommitted bot lane, and now they're going to have to grab Dragon, and Metabusters should just have free access to Grubs.
Yeah.
I think if you're being given Dragon here, it could make sense to just send your jungler top side to try and steal a Grub, just so you don't immediately lose feats, but Andromeda just doesn't have a chance here.
Yeah,
they're able to get this one, but that's one of the cleanest feats getting we've seen in this tournament so far.
I mean, I get why you didn't contest, right? Because just imagine trying to get into that pit at all as Mbessa, right? The only way you're doing is with ulti. So,
yeah, I mean, definitely didn't help that she was on Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I support the decision to not contest there. Feats aren't everything.
Yep. And Corrin just has such a solid lead on the top side of the map. Arnie getting chunked down with like an auto and a Q. Tusini trading super heavily onto Sarvis too. Neither solo lane seeming like it's going super well for Andromeda. Sarvis is able to find a claw here, but just don't think it's going to be enough.
Hey, every time he lands a claw, that's 50 extra health for that champion. Roughly.
I mean, Corrin walking in super aggressively is able to find a grass proc there. Really doesn't care that much about the tower shot. Another Q hits. He has flash available to him. Could just look for another kill under tower. But Arnie actually trading back decently there and is able to restore just a little bit. A cannon was unfortunately gotten, so no extra missed cannons. But Stav going in with another clean ultimate is able to pick up another kill onto Sarvis. And now Bean trying to get away, but is stunned up by the Amumu. Tusini just not able to find enough damage to kill there. But is going to get a tower plate. Corrin going to walk up and try and get one of his own too. But Heartsteel is back up, and Corrin is just going to get the kill with that Heartsteel proc dealing so much damage.
From 40%?
Yep.
Yeah, Mundo Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, he's up 3 kills, and Renekton is not building any defensive items. Just going straight for that early board.
Yeah, I mean, it's your only real option against Mundo, right? So, yeah. I'm not seeing a whole lot of vision coming out of Andromeda here. Dad, his usual vision game he's really good at playing.
Dad running in is able to force the flash out of Jackson, but Jackson immediately gets teleported on by Arnie, but the trap actually completely saves him. I think Jackson's going to die anyway, but maybe Brandon's going to be able to find something. And the Brand burned, almost picks off 2, is only able to get 1. Brandon takes the other kill, but Coffee trying to free hit onto Brandon, but is going to get hit by a ukulele. Brandon's ultimate not doing anything, but Dad should not be able to escape either. Swain not really able to do anything in this fight, shows up and doesn't even have his ultimate available to him. And that is going to be a 4 for 1, because they were able to take Jackson out to start that fight, but Metabusters turned that so well, and they were just able to secure everything there.
Yeah, you can't fight this one though. I don't know if you even walk up to the tower.
Sarvis is
like,
actually able to get
huge.
stuff done on Swain, but Korn just dealing too much damage and can just tank everything. And Jinx R is able to trade back and get a kill onto Caitlyn, so you're kind of 2-1-ing on the back of it, so it really ends up being a 5 for 3. Which you don't actually hate that much for a team that's behind, but they are still down 5,500 gold, not the position you want to be in for sure.
I feel like 100% of the gold advantage at this point is just on the Mundo.
You're not far off.
Yeah, I'm not far off at all,
Yeah.
brother.
And Jackson
back
should
and
just be
got
killed
himself
here.
a
One ultimate burn from Bean to make sure that that kill is secured, but Jackson did end up using that Ignite, so they're getting a lot of value taken off of this brand for an upcoming fight. Shouldn't have his ult
Bessa
back
will not
until
yield.
Dragon, I don't think. Or his Ignite won't be up. His ult wasn't up when he died, so it'll be coming back
Okay.
pretty soon.
He could use it to fight for an objective here. Let's see what happens. Looks like Andromeda's trying to set up for a potential ambush, jump scare bot lane, you know? I don't think they're actually going to get it though. Ticini's giving them a lot of respect.
Ticini walked down, so it's a little better than trying to fight the bot lane 2v2, but they just gave up and walked back into lane.
Stav attempts to catch starters and he just walks back into his minion lane. Yeah. Looks like they're really trying to get some river dominance here. Let's see if anyone has any sweeper. Oh, Arnie,
And Arnie
no.
just gets chunked. The heart seal does so much.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's give a champion that scales exclusively with HP, damage off HP. I'm sure that'll end fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Completely uncontested mid lane, so Metabusters will take it. Thanks for their free 300 gold across the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think Andromeda needs to pull the trigger at some point. They do have a team that scales very well, but I don't know if that necessarily scales better
trigger's been
at all
pulled
points.
onto
But
Jackson.
Jackson does just get caught here, but Mbessa is going to be the one to get the kill, and now Stav's trying to run away. He doesn't have much help there, so he should just be run down, and I think this is the play that Andromeda was looking for. Stav is able to double ult in return, and Tusini's able to grab one. Jinx just walking up too far and got excited, but now being able to find the perfect angle onto Tusini and is able to take him down. The ultimate not enough to kill there. And that's a 3 for 1 for Andromeda. They're getting their way back into this game pretty damn well. Shrunk the gold lead down to only 5k, so it might be entirely in Mundo's pocket now. Actually, no, they're able to close that one out a little bit, so it's not as bad.
I mean, Arnie's got to be able to clear the wave here.
Korn just tanking tower. He does not care. He's going to get the Heart Seal proc.
He's going to power
He
dive.
did not calculate that Arnie had ultimate, but it might not matter. Oh my god, he played that just too safe. I think he would have been able to find that kill if he walked forward, but too many people coming to try and hunt him down. But Bean's actually able to get the dragon off of that triple kill that Andromeda was able to get just prior to that. So that is good for them. They're trying to find a way to go back into this game, and I think they're doing a pretty solid job. Building towards a Hextech Soul is a damn good way to do that.
Caitlyn are 25 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Metabusters will just pick the opposing objective. Honestly, they
Rift Herald
might
does
just
not
give this
matter that
one.
much. It's fine.
You know, you get a lot of the standing gold that's there. You get to take down a turret. Hey, if a T2 is down in any lane, you can get the pressure for an inhib, which is not bad in 3 minutes.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed, and this late in the game, you're not getting too much off the first turret. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen, yeah, I'm just a Balatro player. My brain isn't League of Legends. My brain is spades, hearts, clubs, and aces. The Genie lands a stun here.
That's a -1.
Another shard.
I say
That's that was a -1.
Yep.
Nice.
This cannon.
He was too busy trading for shards, and now you have to pay an extra $1.
Exactly.
How much is the camera on me in particular? Because if the camera's
not
on me
much.
a lot, I'm a little worried for your wallet.
I mean, I don't know. It tends to not follow you, but we'll see. There are more games of you remaining, so who knows?
Your wallet may be cooked.
I mean, it's also up to just people actually noticing it. It is quite hard to actually notice. And Korn's just going to walk up and take the tower this time. They do not know that they're on vision here. Dad actually able to find a double ultimate, and immediately Tusini goes in to follow, but Stav is just able to drop the ultimate. It does not matter, though. They're both picked off immediately. Really good play by Andromeda. They are working their way back into this game super well. However, Korn is still going to be a problem. He's up like 30 CS, a full item, and 6 kills. Beans running in, does not have ultimate anymore. Is going to take some damage. And decent amount coming out from Jackson here. No objectives up for Andromeda win off of the picks that they got. And Jackson is pulled down. He is going to get killed too. Brandon trying to do as much damage as he can, but it's really just the Korn show over for Metabusters here. Everyone else struggling just a little bit. And Korn should just be able to pick this one up. No ulti available for Arnie. And Korn just keeps walking the tower. He does not give a fuck. Bean walking in is going to find the kill here, I'm pretty sure. Either him or Dad is going to end up with it. But it looks like they both of them wanted to give it. They did not play aggressively at all. They just let Mundo walk away. That's 850 gold that's just left on the table.
I mean, Mundo used Flash, you know? Hey, there's something. Also, you know, I would not chase down a Warmog's Heartsteel.
Yeah, but he had already used ulti and he was super low. I don't know, if Ambessa just walks forward, he can't get away. It's crazy.
I don't know, he's just out.
But Otacon is getting started up here. Rel does have Flash and ulti available, so could make a play here. Ambessa now going in with the ultimate, but Otacon is going to be taken by her as well. So Andromeda actually able to get a lot here, but it is the Flower Otacon, so they need to pick it up. Swain able to find a kill onto the backside of the fight, and Sarvis looking for another one here. And Bessa is going to be the benefactor of this one as well. Bean starting off this game really well at 8-2-5, and the flower count is 49 to 16. So highly in the favor of Andromeda, much helped by the fact that they killed the flower Otacon. Gold gap has closed within 3,000 too.
It's still going to be mostly NBA window. This is exactly what you needed out of Andromeda, though. These petals give you a huge opportunity to come back.
Now it's actually entirely on the Mundo. Mundo has a 4k gold lead, and his team only has a 3k gold lead, so shout out Korn.
I see. You know, also, like, I feel like it's a little understated how much AP you get from those adaptive power you get from those petals. Like, considering they're just like essentially mini absolute focuses or mini gathering storms. Like, I think
red side is 31 adaptive force right now. That's not insignificant.
Yeah, especially on a Jinx. Those petals are pretty snazzy. Let me tell you what.
Yep, worth even more in people that can have death cap, which I actually don't know if Swain's going to get there. Stav just getting collapsed on here, Bean finding a really good angle, and Stav has to flash out. Will have the ultimate to re-engage at some point. Already falling down super low. Stav getting onto the backside is not going to die yet, but now gets ulted by Ambessa, still not falling down. Sarv looking for so much, but is just going to get bursted here, and that is the concern with that champion. Caitlyn is able to find the kill to start it off. Brand dealing a lot of damage too, and now Bean is going to get hit by Caitlyn ulti, and Korn should just be able to run him down. Make sure to dodge the traps. And now Coffee's actually in range with the Mundo, is going to get hit with the Heartsteel, and now Tusini's able to find one. I saw Syndra and I would guess like 8 people and they were all wrong in my head. Jackson is the sole member to fall down, but it's an execute. He doesn't even die to the other team. And Tusini able to rack up some of the kills on the backside of this fight.
Also -1.
Just so scary. Wait, blue team missed the cannon or red team did?
I believe blue team missed the cannon earlier in that fight. They just let it die to wave. Does that count?
Right, yeah, I'll count that.
Okay.
So -19 or -19.
I think so.
I keep saying negative.
-19.
But that fight was huge for Metabusters. They were able to get 4k back to the gold lead. It's their first real fight that they've had with Mundo, and they're able to get even on these dragons. They're now up at like 6,500 gold. I think that's going to be a big deal going forward. Jinx should still end up scaling harder, but Caitlyn's basically dead even in items, and Syndra is significantly ahead of Swain in both Darksteel stacks and in terms of purchased items.
I mean, this Syndra's a nuclear bomb. If honestly, if Tharvis or Toffee or Bean, and actually, well, Arnie's a little bit of he's a little bit squishy this game, but if any of those make any positioning error at all in any of these team fights, like, I think Ticini just gets to delete them. His funny R button is
I think
probably
Arnie's gonna die
right now.
Arnie does not have any health built.
He's got a bork, you know.
If he ults, then maybe he could live, but even then, maybe not.
Yeah, it's just a small chance, but hey, you know, take what you can get here.
Yep, and Baron is going to be up in 30. I think Metabuster should have a very easy time going for it. And it looks like they're positioning for it already, but Andromeda's done a really good job of getting vision down. They do have the Scuttle taken and a lot of wards behind, so if Metabusters goes a little too cocky for it, I think Andromeda's going to be able to punish them pretty well.
Well, I mean, speaking of punishment, that's exactly what Zarvus got. I love playing champions with pull-in features where once you pull the enemy champion in, you yourself get punished for it.
Yeah.
Bean finds a flank onto Corn.
I really don't think Corn's going to die anytime soon. Coffee is here. Staub able to find a really good removal ult. Double hits both of them. Corn walking forward is trying to get stuff down, but the Jinx traps are going to make it difficult for him. Dad is not going to give over a Heartsteel stack yet, but now Bean's re-entered the fight and is going to get killed pretty quickly. They were able to trade a couple kills either way. Caitlyn was able to find an ulti there, but Dr. Mundo's still alive, but could end up falling here. He does flash in to get the Heartsteel, and this is going to be a 5-for-2 ace for Metabusters, and now they're just pushing into the base. Ping's coming out saying that Mundo's still alive. Yeah, respawns aren't up for 15 seconds. Mundo should at least be able to kill a tower with a Demolish proc here. They're still pushing. I don't think they're going to be able to end the game, but I don't know. It really depends. Arnie is not very strong if they're able to kill him pretty quickly. And doesn't look like Corn can get into range. The minions just aren't helping him out there. They're still going for it. Arnie flashing in, trying to get something done. He's just going to die immediately. And there's only 2 seconds until Jinx shows up, but it looks like the call is just to leave now. They don't want to get too greedy. Hex gates are available, but it looks like Mundo's just going to go mid and try and take this tower out instead. I think he had already used his Demolish, which is where I got confused. If he still had that, he would have been fine. And his shield is going to protect him from the meaty part of Bean's ultimate. And Bean just going to dash out and not look to chase this. Andromeda's in such a good position here. Their gold lead, or Metabusters are in such a good position here. Their gold lead has increased to 10,000, and all they need to do is take down what's left of a turret and a Nexus. But we might see the Nexus turret respawn actually come into play for the first time in this game. We haven't seen it at all in the previous games, but it could respawn here if the game goes long enough.
I am in big trouble. I mean, waves are coming in. Eventually, you'd imagine these teams are going to fight over vision. Stav's already getting a head start, clearing out a couple of wards in the jungle.
Dragon's going to come up sooner, so than it was earlier. If either team is able to force over it, they could get soul point. I think that's something that both teams are going to want. Jackson doesn't realize he's on a ward here, but Dad doesn't realize that he's playing into 4 members of Metabusters. Arnie just getting poked down by Corn here. Corn is at 6,000 health already. Yeah, 6140. That's a little terrifying. That Heartsteel stack does like 25% of Arnie's health, and he's just getting smacked up. Mundo is just going to take Demolish here, and that's half a tower.
He's going where he pleases. What can I say?
Champion is gross.
Yeah, I mean, you'd imagine Mundo doesn't exactly take showers, does he?
I don't know. He knows what that is. And Arnie just trading back, Arnie doing the best he can, trying to trade back. Corn now taking a lot of damage, but I think Corn still has his ulti available. If you found that Q, it would be a kill, and he's just taking up so much of their time. But now Bean having a really good entrance in the pit, he's able to steal the Nash, and he flashes out, but I don't think he's going to live. He died to Brand Tech. Caitlyn's going to get her ult back since it didn't do much, but holy shit, good stuff from Bean there.
There's
They're
the
able to
best,
close out the
jungle
gold gap a little
value.
bit, and maybe they'll be able to stall long enough for their tower to respawn. I think it's actually almost there.
Metabusters just rotates down for Soul Point, so looks like they're gonna get some push out for first time in this game.
Yeah,
Well,
but
maybe to get to finally get towers.
Metabusters are able to get the dragon. They weren't able to get the Baron because of the steal, but now they're on Soul Point, which I think is going to be super significant, especially with the long range of Caitlyn, Brand, and Syndra. They're going to get a lot of value out of it. And we did just see there in chat that Syndra has fully transcended, so has all of her upgrades.
Yeah, no, this Syndra's a walking bomb. The next time she hits, even touches champion, I expect it to go boom.
Yeah, I feel like Metabusters just has favorable matchups in basically every lane. I didn't look too carefully at draft, or maybe I didn't realize how bad they were, but I think it's just good stuff for Metabusters. Really know how to draft to their advantage. Feels like they have a very good setup. Their team comp's a little unconventional, but I don't think it really matters when you have this much of a lead.
Who enjoys a little bit of unconventional matchup making in draft?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's necessarily meta busting, but it's certainly fun to see some Brand on the map.
Yeah, the Brand. What's his recommended lane, anyways? I think it's still just bot lane. I think it's still.
Yeah, I think it would be
support,
APC.
no? Yeah.
I'm not sure though, and I think they tried to nerf that. Stav is up in farm here. I don't know, for jungle players, they probably know if that's expected or not, but Bean's been having a really damn good game. 8-5 and 8. Same could be said for Sarverus. Basically, same KDA, except he got the Boeing KDA.
No, don't tell the CEO he's gonna get hired. Someone's gonna get hired to take out servers.
Jinx.
No.
Jinx is not doing
On the
as
correct
well,
team.
but I think it can be very easy for Jinx to completely turn that around. She's building towards either Mortal or Lord Dom's here. I'm not sure which, but actually I think it's Mortal since the Longsword's been picked up. But I think they changed it to a Noon Quiver and Lord Dom, so I think it could actually be either. Nothing really to fight over here for the next 3 minutes. I think Metabus is just going to try and bide their time and see what they can get done, and Andromeda should just be doing their best to funnel as much gold on the Jinx as possible here. Try to get her to that third item, and Lord Dom's is going to be completed, so I think with items being even on ADCs, I think that's actually pretty major. And I think Jinx has more expensive items overall. The difference is just that Caitlyn was able to pick up the extra Swift boots, or whatever the hell they're called, which should provide an extra movement speed to help her kite out all these melee threats that are going to be running at her and the Swain.
I do believe the Swifties upgrade is called Swift March. Spellslinger's Shoes is the
Swift March, yes.
upgrade for
Triumphant
Sword
plated
Pen.
steel caps. Armored Advance.
Armored Event. There's your
Triumphant
upgrade.
is just the normal.
Yeah. Spellslinger's Boots, 1-2 champions. I think Spellslinger's Boots is the most broken of all the upgraded boots. But
Yeah, people see. Oh my god,
Oh,
huge
Dad
engage coming out from
flash
Dad,
engaging.
and the rest of the team is somewhat close enough to engage. Bean really wanting to hit that ultimate, but I don't think it matters too much. Stop, really good ult, is able to find 3 stun, and the Syndra and Brand damage is so valuable here. And Brandon looking for a kill with the ultimate, not able to find it, but Corn Flash and finish it off. That's actually only a 3 for 2. Tusini forcing a flash out of Coffee with his own flash. Barrier still available, but Tusini's going to fall down to Sarverus. But now it's just all up to Corn. Corn able to stack the hard seals, getting slows down onto Captain Coffee, but his flash was already used to pick up a kill earlier. Corn just has to start retreating now. He's getting burned down from the Swain. We're really seeing the value of this pick come out, and he's able to get the shutdown, and this fight somehow goes over to Andromeda. Could they turn this around? They're only down 6k now.
Dad with an absolutely massive flashing engage, getting the fight for Andromeda right where they wanted, in that little choke point right there.
And
Sarvis-
respawns are going to be so far in favor of Andromeda for this dragon. I think it's going to be really hard for Metabusters to secure Soul here.
Yeah, I think this Drake just goes over, and we might just see a fight for the 7th Dragon of the game, honestly.
Things are slowing down a little bit, but I think this is kind of calm before the storm. Mundo is going to be able to get there in time. Hex gates are there, so he's going to show up a little late. Doesn't have the teleport, so he's just going to have to book it there. But Kalen should be in time to get some trap setup done. Both teams making sure to clear out some of their jungle. Don't want to lose too much in case they do get wiped here. But Arnie's across the map does have teleport available. Not too many good flank wards. Tusini able to get a stun on Dad to start this fight off, but it's pretty even. I expect how this fight to go to really show us how the rest of the game's going to go. I think either team has a good chance to win it. But they are able to take a blue tower down top side. Arnie's split push really getting worked on. And I think his teleport time is going to be really important. And it looks like Soul's just falling over so fast. Brian does so much damage. Bean goes in and is able to steal another objective this game. Huge stun coming out. And now the Rel ultimate coming through. But I think it's just not enough. Arnie TP's in just too late. Not able to, actually able to find one kill. Coffee's resetting. Gets a lot down to Susini. Able to find it two. And now that's a triple kill going over to Jinx, but I think those are the only 3 kills they're going to be able to get. No, just kidding. Arnie gets at the backside and is able to get Jackson too, but Korn's going to be able to finish off the kill, and that's a 5-for-4 fight. Metabuster's able to get the ace, but Andromeda able to get 4 kills in return and steal the objective. That's almost exactly what Andromeda wanted, but they just weren't able to finish off the kills, and Korn's going to deal so much of damage to the objectives, and he has Warmog, so he's just going to heal up all the way. It's going to be really hard for them to stop him. He has 15 seconds uncontested into the base, but once Dad spawns, he should be able to keep him at bay enough, but this should at least be an inhib, maybe a second one.
I mean, it might just be the one. Wait.
Or he's going to greed for
I
the
think he's
tower
going to go
here.
for the Demolish Block.
Oh my god, and he just gets
Yeah,
it.
there's the Demolish Block. Yeah.
Heartsteel, 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 Heartsteel.
Oh,
Yeah.
-1!
Oh, he didn't get it. Oh, we're at -20, I think.
Yeah, we're at -20. Dad
And
finally
now
gets a hard
Korn just
kill
gets
after...
completely collapsed on. I think he's gonna die. But he doesn't have a shutdown, so it's like fine. Like that doesn't really matter. I mean,
He got
Baron's
2
up, so maybe it does
Heartsteel
matter, but
I mean, he gets 2 Heartsteel stacks. Enemy Nexus is open.
yeah, I mean,
it's
Andromeda
worth-
just needs to pull the trigger on Baron now, except it's so hard for them to because super minions are going down their mid wave.
I mean, Bean's in the area, the notorious objective stealer himself, so I feel like here, Metabusters, you might want to hold off on hitting the
Yeah,
trigger.
Tuna getting stunned here. Beam now going in, but Stun coming back. Amu's looking for a really good ultimate, but Tusini's just able to find the kill onto Bean immediately. And now Stav is falling, but it's in trade for Dad. And now Coffee just gets completely annihilated. Sarver is going to have to get a lot done here, but he hasn't even been able to get his ult on this fight until now. He's looking for something, but it's just too late. Everyone's focusing on him, and it's really hard for him to play into the 3 damage dealers onto Metabusters when he's their sole focus, and I think this is actually just going to be the game. Mundo Teleport's going to be available now, so I'd assume he's going to TP to one of these minions, and yep, it's coming through now, and Arnie is not going to be able to defend this.
Dude, Genie just turbo smurfed that fight.
Yeah,
He hits another Q.
The turret respawned, but you
a little
can't...
buggy.
It didn't respawn. It exists, but it doesn't exist. What the fuck?
You know,
I'm not going to
right gigs is an indie game company.
Good job,
what can I
League of
say?
Legends. This is... okay. Yeah,
We really do live in
We're at
League of
-20
Legends.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we should be getting to the last game of the day, so Stav, if you're still here, this one's going to be on you, because it is going to be SKT versus Fruitcakes. Fruitcakes is going to have side select here, but after game 1, let me make sure I click on the right one. Metabusters has advanced, and Andromeda has unfortunately been eliminated. With that, good chances of your donation going to PCRF. The remaining 3 charities in the tournament are the LA Fire Department Foundation, the Trevor Project, and a Popo if you want some freaking superhero rats. But we will be headed into this last game of the day. And Honan, thank you for hopping on for the cast. Do appreciate it.
I mean, if you ever need me, I will not be around. I will be dead, dying. I am not flourishing. The ops have gotten to me. Whoever's preying on my downfall, you are winning.
Amazing. I'm sorry to hear that. But anyway, looks like Fruitcakes had selected red side, and I believe Mason's actually back for this game, and so is Kai. So Fruitcake's actually running their expected starting roster for this game, which is cool. That's not something we've seen from them so far this tournament. So we'll see if that's maybe going to help them out and they're going to stomp this game, or maybe not as much, and maybe Julian's just the GOAT. Who knows? I also think they have some very one-trick intense junglers available to them. So maybe just not being blind pick is going to hurt them a little bit. We'll definitely have to see how this game goes. But looking onto the other side of the map, it is the same lineup that we've been seeing for Skaven. So it's going to be Honan in the mid lane still, and Dio as their ADC. Stav, is there anything you're looking forward to in draft this game?
Me not missing my smites because I'm not in the game.
What does that have to do with draft?
Nothing. No, I think honestly, I'm really excited to see Skaven's role assignments, because if you look at their players, I mean, they have Honan who can go support, and Lithi who can go mid. Liev has shown that he's willing to swap with Honan mid top. So I think it's really interesting to draft into this team because they have so much flexibility in their roles, and that's not something we would necessarily see in blind pick too much. But now that they're playing in draft games, they might take advantage of that.
Yep. So
additionally,
I feel like this is also a bit of a lore matchup. I feel like Mason definitely enjoys his beefing with Apari. So we'll have to see who really wins out here. It would be interesting to see if either of them get their signature champions. I think with the way things have kind of panned out, I think it's a lot more likely to see other people's champions get banned. Like Ali would probably draw a lot of bans. And I would expect the same from just generally people on SKT. A lot of one tricks on that team, as we've already mentioned, but I don't know what your bans would be against this team as either of the teams against any of the other teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting to try and ban into SKT because they have, like you said, they have a lot of one tricks. So you have to pick and choose who do I want to let play their comfortable champions, right? Liev has his Irelia and his Kassadin. We haven't seen his Irelia so far this tournament, but his Kassadin's been tearing up the rift. Apari has his Kayn. Dio has Zaya for ADC. Lithi obviously plays a lot of Nami, and Luck obviously plays a lot of Nami. Honan has his Thresh and his Zerath. So like, what out of those like million picks, which ones do you want to see let through?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's
hard.
It's going to be a really tough call, and I do actually want to take a peek at a matchup that we've actually seen played before, and it is going to be that rivalry I've already talked about. But before we do that, Liev and Ali C is going to be a really exciting matchup. Both these players pretty new to the server, and I think they're both kind of considered to be two of the top contenders for top lane this season. So I think it's going to be really fun to see how they pair up against each other. Obviously, top lane is one of those matchups that you'd like to see play out over a series where kind of both players can get counterpick, but I think it'll be fun to watch regardless. Anyway, looking at jungle, Apari actually is up in the matchup versus Mason. Make sure to rub that in because it's funny. But yeah, it's 11-9, so it's close. Mason does have better overall stats. Apari does have a negative win rate on jungle in the server, which is very surprising to me, but both of them hovering right around that 3 KDA threshold. No one super far ahead of the other. And Viego is really the only common champion between them, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes out, or if they just get to play one of their main champions. Neither of them really differ from their champion pool when playing against each other. Like, if you look at Mason's top 4 champions, they're also his top 4 against Apari. And same thing. 4 out of 5 for Apari are his most played against Mason. Yeah. It's interesting to see that Mason hasn't really denied the Kayn from Apari too much. It's not up in his top 5. It is Skarner, but I think that just kind of shows the recency thing. Skarner really becoming prevalent, much more recent.
Yeah. I mean, it also looks like Mason isn't letting that Kayn through, and he really wants Apari on that Viego. I mean, we can see that Viego is his number 1 pick into Mason. But
yeah, we can kick it over to draft now. I did get it put in.
Oh.
And it looks like the Udyr Kayn trade is just accepted. Wukong's banned. I think it's just a good champion on the patch, and definitely something that Mason can play. And then Garen Singed and Cass and Irelia, 4 of these first 6 bans dictated towards top lane, and the Xerath is also picked away from Honan. It's something that he can play in all 3 positions, so that I think does give it a lot of power if they're looking to flex around this bot side of the map. Jhin picked up for Faye is interesting to pick so early in the game, especially into a potential blue cane. I think it just makes your life miserable. But Xayah Nami, pretty much what we've been expecting from Dio and Lithi, and I think Seraphine is a good flex for both Kathy and Kai. Either of them are willing to play it, and Kathy's already shown this tournament that her Seraphine is killer, so I like the first half of the draft so far. What do you think moving on to the second half, though? It looks like we're drawing 4 top lane bans.
Yeah, I mean neither top lane has been picked at that point, and if you're fruitcakes, you really have no idea what Honan's gonna pick. So you know Nami's been picked, so there's no reason to ban the Thresh. It's so hard to predict what Honan's gonna pick, so you might as well just throw 2 top lane bans, try and maybe coverage bans for the champion you want to pick, and then
believe it or not, this
kind of
Lux...
same thing for SKT.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of these champions have a bit of an unknown in the champion pool just because they haven't been around for too much. So I think these are all pretty solid bans. They're all things that we've at least seen come out from them before. But you're kind of limited to what you can ban. Maybe it's better to ban something that just counters what you want to pick, but maybe that gives it away a little bit too much. Kind of hard to know. But the Lux and Kog'Maw that are locked in is actually our mid lane matchup this game, which is... I feel like this is crazier than the picks we saw in Blind Pick, but maybe that's just me.
That might just be a Honan moment, though.
Yeah, and then
Xerath is banned, so pick whatever the hell you feel like.
That's true. Liav is going to be blinding Shen, and it is going to be countered by Dr. Mundo, which we saw perform super well last game. If Ali can do anything like what Korn just did, I think we're in for a bit of a banger. But
yeah, Korn's Mundo was disgusting that game, and if anybody can replicate it, it's going to be Ali.
Yeah.
He is a phenomenal top laner, and so is Liav. So
I was going to say. But anyway, moving into game. Maybe. There we go. I feel like Fruitcake should have a lot more agency earlier in the game, which I think should help them out a decent amount. I have actually played into Ali's Mundo before, although I played top lane Zac in one of the sillier sign-up games that we've had. That draft was absolutely evil, but it won us the game. But they're looking for a death push, but they're on top of a ward.
Yeah, what a great ward from Liav there, spotting out the invade. Actually, I don't know whose ward that is.
Is it the dreaded Apari
looks
ward?
like Liav's.
No, it is Liav's ward. That would be the Apari ward. Although, as we all know now, the Apari ward is located here. If you're playing into Apari at the beginning of the game, ball up here, he will die.
Honan's going for the Apari ward potentially this game, but opts to put a more
just gonna
standard
get one in
Chicken's ward
Raptors,
down.
yeah. They're able to ping that, so they might be able to just play around it and get some surprises off, but Apari is just starting opposing wolves. Kathy's gonna walk in, but okay, she definitely knows. Just dropped a ward in the bush and moved out. Surely she saw that, right?
I would imagine she did. I mean, they pinged it.
Okay, I didn't see the ping. I just wasn't sure if vision was like stupid. And Faye's actually now caught out here. Kathy getting there a little bit later. But Faye able to get a 4-shot traded back, so everything is pretty even in the bot side of things. Udyr now going for a counter invade, is also going to be on a ward.
Yeah, it seems like this game might just be a handshake vertical jungle. Both of these players really like just farming the first, like full clearing. So vertical jungling, not something that is unexpected to see if Apari starts on opposing wolves. But
yeah, I mean, I think both teams do want to kind of play more towards topside. I think it's the more volatile lane here. Even though they're both on tanks, I think they're still both going to have a huge impact. So I think Fruitcakes does slightly win out on this. Apari tried to get ahead by forcing the invade, but looks like Mason actually is going to take the entire blue side and is likely just going to end up down on farm unless he can get a double scuttle.
Yeah. Playing aggressively gets caught by
Kathy's
the
setting
Jin
up
W.
for a root.
The-
They're not
A
able
good
to find
double
the
by
kill.
Litty is
on
able to
the
defuse the situation.
And I would hope with Mason knowing that all of his camps are gone that he might just take it back and look somewhere else, but I don't know. He's going to be kind of homeless for a little bit, whereas Apari's just going to be able to clear up towards the stop sign and get everything. Maybe Mason didn't realize this entire bot side got taken? Dio flying down super low here. If Faye's able to get the fourth shot, that should be a kill, but first blood is on the line here, so both teams need to be pretty careful. Kathy unloading the double Q, but not able to find anything. Now Mason is pathing down towards the first crab. Apari looking to meet him there. A lot of focus down towards bot side, knowing that so many members are low. Apari's in the bush, and he's set up perfectly. He's going to end up in the wall behind. And the huge stun comes out from Lithy, but they almost are able to find the kill onto Dio first, but no, first blood going down onto Apari, and he should be able to find a second kill here. Mason just a little late to this, and that is a double kill going over to Apari to start off this game.
Yeah, that is not what you like to see if you are Fruitcakes. Losing this, getting 2 assists on the Nami and 2 kills on the Kayn early is not what you want to see if you're a Jhin player into a Xayah. You really want to be ahead in that lane, get the jungle pressure you want.
Yeah, and that first part of the feat is now going over. I feel like Fruitcakes will likely have more tower pressure, and no team has really gotten anything objective-wise because they're not up yet, but I think it's, again, going to be one of those games where you really need to look for the objectives since you can get those.
Yeah, meanwhile, not much has happened top, really. Both these players just farming, enjoying life, chilling.
Things are slowing down a little bit. Ali is slightly ahead in CS, but I feel like this matchup really comes down to can Shen make more stuff happen early game, or does he not get much done, and then Mundo is just going to be completely unstoppable once we get to late game.
Yeah, on the flip side,
fights.
On the flip side, though, the Shen's going to be able to make plays on the map. Mundo has no way of stopping Shen R from going through.
The roam potential is hurt a little bit because Shen has Ignite over TP. But they're able to find the root onto Faye to start this off immediately. Faye dropping down super low. They're not able to find enough damage to finish the kill. Lithy is getting counter-rooted and does take a decent chunk of damage there. Mason is not spotted here, which could be really impactful if Dio walks up, but Mason just doesn't want to spend too long there. The root does come out. Kathy not able to find the follow-up CC, but maybe this will give them enough pressure for Fruitcakes to be able to take the first dragon. Or maybe we'll get to see a smite fight between Apari and Mason if Apari goes for his steal. Can Unk win? That root almost enough to kill Faye. I'm watching this cannon.
Yeah, zoom all the way and we got to see this.
Oh, Lithy got it.
Oh, Lithy got it.
The item.
I feel like that's cheating, though.
Well,
it's not a -1, but it's also not a CS get.
It should go back.
Honing getting some.
They should make it
that's a lot of damage. Honing getting some good poke onto Kai here. Kai's almost out of mana. He's going to have enough for probably one more rotation, so he's going to opt to take a back here. Doesn't have TP up, so Honing's going to be able to shove this wave in and get a clean back.
Good guess from Ali, knowing where Liev is going to interrupt the base, which is really going to mess up timers. Mason now rotating top, trying to get grubs. Has been way more objective focused than the Kayn. Should be 2 epic monsters traded for 2 kills, which somewhat even, considering one of them was a feat. But I don't know, I think you do like getting the objectives a little more. If Honen's able to steal one of these, I think that would be insane. Especially with Kai walking up. There could be something going down here, but I think Honen's just playing far enough back that he should be safe.
Oh
my god, Honen steals a Void Grub.
That was crazy.
And Apari going in, looking to get another one, but yeah, they're actually able to take 2, so Mason only gets 1, and he's just trapped in pit. Is not going to be able to flash out there. And that is that Shen value going in. And he doesn't even need to walk too far to get back to top lane. Does burn his ult and 2 summoner spells. Was able to secure the second of the grubs and get an extra kill onto their team in the early game.
Yeah, that was really well done by Honan, stealing the grub, making sure that Fruitcakes is only up 1 objective on
Kathy
them.
getting hit with the bubble there and gets triple rooted. Dio, really good feather placement. It is flashing forward with the ultimate and should be able to pick up the kill. Lithy actually going to be the one to get this, but it's another knockup down onto Faye, and that suspend from the bubble should be enough to secure that Lithy isn't going to die. The 4th shot, grenade combo is actually going to take him out. Faye getting a kill this game, but Dio getting her first kill of the game too, and that's a kill going over to either ADC, but advantage definitely goes over to SKT as they're able to keep Dio alive and keep up some pressure in lane.
Yeah, Dio's able to get this XP, get the extra CS, crash the wave. Plus, trading 1 for 1 as a Xayah into a Jhin is really
if
good.
only minus casters counted. Yikes.
We should compute the total number of CS and the total number of minions that spawned, and you donate that much.
Nope. Want me to be bankrupt. We suck. We're not good. If we were like all challenger, then maybe. Lithy getting chunked here, but able to trade back just a little bit. Hari could be looking for another play bot side. No objectives are going to be spawning for another 2 minutes or so. Currently, the Epic Monster total is 1 in favor of Fruitcakes and 0 on the other team. Neither team was able to get grubs because not all 3 were captured. Hubris is completed for Kayn, which is going to be the first item completion of the game. But Dio follows it right up with an Essence Reaver. Also, very high value item.
Yeah, those are two big power spikes for those champions. Hubris provides so much damage. I wouldn't be surprised if Kayn was able to just walk up to Jhin and one-shot him at this point. As Honan's trying to look for something in the bot lane.
Oh yeah, Honan roaming is able to get a slowdown and some extra damage on top of it. There's not really anything up now, so it's not a crazy valuable roam, but just causing some problems. Lux able to get the wave pushed in, but is still actually down CS. Kai narrowly missing the root there. And Ali seems to be having the advantage here. In the 1v1, Shen was able to help out with that kill onto Udyr, but you'd hope for just a little more value there. But obviously he did have to blind that, so I don't hold him too much on it. Dio is getting rooted up there. Gonna take a decent chunk of damage. But
His Honan gets chunked out for a 3rd health in the mid lane, but
yeah, he was able to take half health off of Kai, but
everywhere.
Liav's now getting dove. He can't Shen ult himself for help, and that is going to be a tower kill onto Mason. No, the tower shot does not go off. But both Fruitcake's members have to walk off with, like, basically 1 tower shot would have killed either of them. And they're going to have to reset, which should guarantee Dragon, but Liav just going in should be able to find the kill onto Ali, and he finds a solo kill. First kill going down actually into top lane, and that really helps you out. Lithy and Dio now looking for it, are able to find the suspend onto Faye, and Dio not having enough feathers to root, goes a little too close to tower and is forced to ult.
Dio uses the ult to dodge it. Yeah, really well played. Going back to that top lane play, really well played by Liav to be able to stuff out the dive, burn Mason's flash, and then get the return kill. As SKT is going to use that fight that they just took bot lane to secure their Drake and tie up the score for the objectives.
And Kai just needs to play it back a little bit here. Gets a lot of chunk damage taken down and just has to flash. Felt like the bubble might have secured a kill onto him. Fruitcakes is down 2.5k gold. Assuming just from the kills, because they have decent CS values across the map, but these grubs should just be taken pretty easily by SKT, and they just got the dragon, so now they're going to be up in the Epic Monster feats, and they do have First Blood. So Tower's really going to be the one that's up in the air, so Fruitcakes really need to lock in. They need to get a Tower and the next 2 Epic Monsters, which being the Dragon and Rift Herald that spawn in 3 and 4 minutes is doable, but they need to secure a very solid place in the game for them in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, Ali is not having a fun time laning into two ranged characters like that as a Mundo. He's getting poked out really, really hard. But on the flip side, you have a Shen into a Jhin and a Seraphine who's not going to have that much trouble.
But Ali just getting chunked here, but he should be fine. Decent ways for him to regenerate. Shen also should be doing fine here. He's positioned really well because he's going to have his ultimate available for Rift Herald, which comes up first. Teleport coming out from Honan, though, just to get himself back to the mid lane faster.
Yeah, Pari's hovering here bot side, but I don't know if you really want him to be
Liav
here.
goes in, is able to
in.
find the taunt. If Kathy is going to fall down here, that could be big, but the flash is burned instead, and the barrier from Faye, actually, which is surprising considering Faye is full health, but, you know, I won't question it. Maybe assume that they had heal. But Lithy going for the wave, it's not going to get the knock-up, but is going to force out the passive. But now Mason's here. Dio needs to find a really good pull here in order to get enough damage down on a Mason, but is not going to find it. And Ali and Mason almost both get a kill, but Liav, really good ultimate, is able to turn one back his direction, but
Mason gets a slow off with the ultimate.
He should still be able to pick up the kill onto Dio there. And that's a big shutdown going
crazy.
over.
The amount of healing coming out from the Udyr and the Mundo made that fight go from something that looked super winnable from SKT to just going 0 for 2 there until the Shen came.
Yeah, I guess this is AD Udyr. He has Spear of Shojin. And
Yeah,
it's like
know.
PTA. I mean, I'll trust the Udyr guy, but that's a little crazy.
I guess into 4 squishies and a Shen.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see
pretty
Kai not
valuable.
fishing with ult here. If he's able to hit it, that's a kill, but maybe saving it for Herald fight. But usually Luxus just throw that shit out whenever, so. Lux TPing back on the map, are just looking to get out quick. This Rift Herald could be feats for SKT, so there does need to be a lot of attention paid there. Fruitcakes was actually able to secure first turret bot lane recently, so it is going to come down to these next couple objectives. Fruitcakes needs to get both, SKT just needs to get one. Kai actually getting rooted up here, but Roots, Dio back in return is able to chunk half their health out, and Ali with a really good flank here is able to find the Q down to start it off, is able to dodge the bubble and just finds a kill very quickly onto the enemy ADC. And Mason and Ali both looking to dive, but so much tower damage coming down, and now Apari and Honan are here on the backside. Mason getting chunked down, basically 80% of his health gone already.
Yeah, Fruitcakes is just going to start up the Drake. I mean the Rift Herald. They know that Dio's down, shielding them, be spawning for a little bit longer, and SKT's not in any sort of position to contest. Instead, SKT's going to run down to the Drake, try and set up for that, make sure that they can secure that objective.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost worrying how long Fruitcake spent trying to dive after that initial play. It's bought a little bit of time for SKT to get the Dragon started, but they intelligently just rotated Mundo down, but probably just going for it because it's so much damage on the Kai, and they're able to find the kill. He gets Shen ulted on immediately, which is more for positioning than trying to save him, and I think that might be beats locked in for SKT. I don't think Mason really has a way to contest this. He doesn't even have Smite. And now Faye's just getting bursted down, ulted way too close to the enemy team, and actually is going to be okay with the Seraphine, but Honan just hunting Faye down, trying to find something. Kathy throwing out ulti and just missing it. I think that could be critical if another fight happens too soon.
Yeah, at this point, that Kayn is very strong. You have Honan as well, providing so much poke. And doing so much damage from that far away is kind of crazy, especially with the Nami able to provide bonus damage on his abilities. a slowing with the R is really nasty.
Yeah, I mean, this Kayn is definitely a threat. First champion in the game at 2 items. Apari's having a very good game here.
Yeah, absolutely demonstrating why you don't want to give him the Kayn and why we don't see him on it very often.
Game has slowed down a little bit. There's not much to fight over. Otacon will be up in 2 minutes. Not an objective that you can really necessarily take on spawn like a dragon, but definitely something that teams could be looking for. Apari fishing for the Jhin here, not going to be able to find it.
That was a weird animation. I don't really know what happened. He looked like Talon for a second.
Liav is getting chunked there, but not for too much. Kai isn't as ahead as you'd hope. At this point of the game is actually down 20 CS. He did see a insane Lux performance earlier this tournament, so it's kind of hard to not imagine all Luxes doing that much damage. But Mundo now coming top, TPing, should just be able to find an easy kill onto Honan, dropping an emote as he shows up. I think this should just be a solo. Mason's going to be here to help, but it's definitely not needed. It seems like Fruitcakes is winning out on lane assignments here. They're not really losing anything in mid lane when it's bot lane v bot lane, and I think the swap of their solo lanes is really benefiting both of them. A Ghost was required to burn him down, but Dio's actually grabbed here, and Mason's right on top, but Shen ultimate is coming through. He's going to be slightly lowered in health, but gets the flash taunt onto the enemy ADC, and they're able to find the kill there. Apari joining the fight, and Kathy's just going to try and do her best to defend this tower, but I don't know how possible it is, and Apari's just running Mason down, trying to find it, and why the hell is Mason Mastery 120? Someone got to put this man down. Holy shit.
Yeah, with 120 mastery, you'd expect them to be doing better than 1-1 and 1 this game
So
when you get
true.
one trick.
So like Apari gets his one trick, 3-0-1, 160 CS. Mason down 30 CS, not even positive. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
He's washed.
Do better.
He's washed up.
The next dragon is going to be spawning in 2 minutes, but the first objective on people's minds is going to be this Otacon. Everyone is alive from Fruitcakes, but Jin's going to be a little out of range. Otacon can do a lot of damage, especially with this being the form of Kayn that can't heal up. Mason just flashes in and is going to be able to give a kill onto Lithy over to Kai, and this actually might be a pretty free Otacon for Fruitcakes. Kog'Maw is showing up, but I don't think that's going to be enough to turn it. Apari can get through this wall and try and steal very easily, but he's on vision, which makes it a bit tougher, and he just makes the call to retreat. Mason falling down super low, might end up dying, but there's enough shielding coming out from Seraphine that maybe they will be fine, and that is Voracious Otacon. So this is going to be the revive one. Let's see if Fruitcakes is able to get some tempo on the map and really try and force something. The dragon will be up within the timer, which is something to look for.
And suddenly this game is down to a 1.5k gold lead. It seemed like it was like SKT was so far ahead just a second ago, but with that Otacon take and with these whatever they're called GAs that Fruitcakes has now, like you said, they can take some fights and maybe grow their gold lead a little bit, shrink the gold deficit a little bit more.
Yep, and Liav should be able to take this tower on the top side of the map, and I think that will help him a little bit, but we're really just seeing how much of a factor Mundo can be in this meta. Both draft pick games, Mundo has been selected and has had a lot of value. Faye might be forced to straw here, but huge double ultimate coming out from the mid support from Fruitcakes, and that's one withdrawal being forced out from Mason, and Ali looking to find a kill right before he's forced to withdraw as well, but now Kathy and Faye are both falling down. They might lose their withdrawals before Dragon 2, and yep, that's 3 members of Fruitcakes off the map, and only 1 killed on the side of SKT. And wait, that's another snipe coming down from Honan, and now Kai could be screwed too.
It's a single ult this fight.
And Lithy almost falling, but now Fruitcakes is kind of staggered on their way back to Dragon, but I do think it's going to be too hard for SKT to contest this. Looking at the health that we're seeing onto Lithy, and Liav is below half as well, so this should just be a pretty free Dragon. The critical members of Fruitcakes did make it a point to get withdrawn as quickly as possible so they'll be able to be for Dragon on time.
Yeah, like even if you take that fight and go, if you only one member on your team dies, the enemy team has withdraw, they can still get back to the fight early because you don't have time to back even.
Yeah, I think Fruitcakes was able to take out 2 members there, which I think is pretty good for them. As long as you get like 1 or 2 kills, you're around even in value, because you do give over some gold from withdraws, but ideally you do want to end up with a little bit more. But they're able to get the dragon off of it, which does put them at 2-2 for soul stacking purposes. Pari is spotted out here, was on a ward. He's going to be able to get rooted up here, and then the charm comes down from Seraphine ulti, but he's able to get inside of Mundo before he dies, and is able to survive. Ugh.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy
Pari
stuff.
manages to get out there by the skin of his teeth. Kai lands a root onto Liev, but I don't know how much it matters. His Lux is not doing nearly as much damage to this Shen as you would hope.
Yeah, I mean, Shen does have a Negatron Cloak at this point in time, so he does have a fair amount of resistances. And it looks like Ali's trying to back to get bot lane, and that's a flash force out of Kathy. Does not want to die to Honen's ultimate there. And now Mundo's TPing in to try and stop the Kayn. Will keep that tower alive with that teleport. And Mason and Kai are looking up again, trying to get this tower from under Liav's feet, but not coming through yet. Stridebreaker is picked up, the next item in this Udyr build. Mundo is on 3 items, which I think makes him the most fed character in the game. So Fruitcakes is going to have to play again around Ali yet again to be able to get a dub this game. We'll see how this is going to pan out. They're only slightly behind, and they've pulled off an insane comeback in this tournament, so I wouldn't count them out just yet.
And it was with Kathy on the Seraphine as well, so
that's true.
Who knows?
And Mason running in forces his Xayah ult out just by walking.
That's a really big cooldown burn for Dio. I mean,
but Mason still running, is able to get on top of Dio, and Kai with a snipe across the map, and that could be Baron. That Xayah is a critical member of that team.
Yeah. Critically, though, Shen is pushing out the top side. I don't think SKT is going to be in a position to contest this Baron, but at least they might be able to get a tower. Although, if Honen keeps landing these ults, he might be able to poke them down enough.
Yeah, Mason running forward is not able to find a stun onto Apari, but loses half his health. But I think Apari should end up dying now. The Shen R does come through, but it's not gonna complete. And Shen just continues to split push. They're sending Mundo to match him. Shen is actually able to pick up 700 gold from that turret, but this Baron should just fall down, except Honen is in the area and he does not do a minute amount of damage. Has Malignance already and the Leandry, so he's going to burn a lot with each of these ults that he hits. He's able to find one onto Kathy, walking forward, trying to find even more damage, and they just don't do any damage to Nash. Jhin is not the ADC you want if you're trying to burst it, and this just took way too long. Kathy's ult coming down, only able to find one charm. It's actually going to allow Kai to just get a one-shot down onto Nami. Honen able to trade 2 kills back, and Mason was able to find an additional one onto Dio again, caught out. That ultimate being down allowed her to die twice to Mason, and now Ali keeps running down. Should be able to find a kill onto Honen here, but I don't think we're going to see Mundo taken down as well, but that means that Baron isn't even going to be taken. There's just not enough damage on this team.
Yeah, Apari playing really good interference on that first Baron attempt, and then Fruitcake's chasing him all the way off of the Baron, and that falls enough time for the rest of the team to come back, and by that point, Fruitcakes was already low from taking the Baron for too long.
Fruitcake does win out on that fight, but it's not as good as getting a Baron would have been. And now we are fighting over Soul Point for either team in about 30 seconds. It looks like Fruitcakes are set up a little better here, but Mason is going to be the last one to the fight, so it should be a little interesting and see how this plays out. Ali just a bit far forward, but I think he should be fine if he can get the rest of his team okay. And he's going to look for a lot of damage onto Lithi, and the flash is forced out. Kai's ult is a huge threat at this point in the game.
Yeah, that 2-item Lux with Storm Surge and Ludens is going to be doing so much damage on a solo ult. And just ulting an entire team, that'll do a lot of damage too.
Yeah, Kai flashes towards his team
forwards to try and find out of Apari, but Apari also didn't go in, so it kind of They kind of canceled each other out, and they were both shocked and didn't do anything.
Mason's just able to grab an Infernal Drake here. I think Kai's positioning seems a little weird, but I think he's just trying to get closer to Mundo, and it really dissuades Kane from following up when you know that you're... Like, that's a weird direction to flash in if it's not a very tactical play. Kathy did just get chunked out down to half there, which is pretty major, but now the Baron's getting started up again. Jhin is not there, but Mundo should actually help out with a lot of the damage, and Seraphine should do a good job of keeping them alive, but it's so risky to do this with Kathy being such low health. And Apari is now looking in. He's going to see that low health target and home in like a missile. Kathy, going down pretty low too, is going to get knocked up by the Nami ultimate, which is going to seal her fate. And both junglers are near to the pit. Mason forced out. He's super low health. Now he just needs to run away. And Jhin ult has actually found basically no damage here. Ali might be able to find a kill onto the Kog'Maw, but that's the only kill for his entire team. And this is going to be a 5-for-1 for SKT. And they just started Nash with a low health Seraphine, and Seraphine just gets chunked out by the rest of the team. She wasn't even able to get her ult off, let alone heal her flash.
Yeah, I mean, SKT now sending all of the essential members, all the essential DPS members onto the Baron, and Lieve's just going to push out the mid lane, probably drop that mid lane inner. Really good, honestly, really good game state for SKT here. You have a Kog'Maw. I mean, he was pumping out so much damage that fight. He managed to get Kai in the middle of the fight when he was trying to get out of the Baron pit.
Yeah, I mean, this game went from basically dead even to like a 6k gold deficit, if not more. It's closer to 6,500. That Baron and the Ace were basically key. I feel like Fruitcakes was doing a good job of staying in the game, but now it kind of feels like the opposite. It seems like it's going to be very hard for them to come back. The only thing that they really have in their favor is Soul Point.
Yeah. And Liev also doing a really good job of pressuring side lanes, pulling, like, he was sitting bot that first fight and nobody went to match him. He did decide to ult in and they won the fight off of it. So, but if he had decided to take tower, he probably could have gotten 2 towers before anybody was able to show up to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to grab the top tower earlier, and he's playing so well. He hasn't died all game.
Yeah. And even without the TP, because he has Shenar, he's able to side lane so effectively.
Game is going to slow down a little bit. I think both teams are going to want to fight over this Infernal Dragon. I think the question that we kind of need to ask is Fruitcakes in the game enough that they'll actually be able to fight Drag, or are they out of it enough that it's just going to be a slaughter once they get there? Seraphine and Jhin are not very mobile, so it's going to be tough, and Lux too, so it's going to be really tough for them to deal with Honin and Apari. I think the ultimate from Apari, or from Honin, and then the W's from Apari are going to make their life basically hell, so they need to get their damage out quick and try and burst one of these targets. Just playing into this rain that's going to be coming down from Honin is going to be a disaster for them.
Yeah, and critically, Xayah just finished her 3rd item. That Navori Flicker Blaze is a really big power spike. So, I mean, Dio's been
and phase down to
taking
half,
the brunt of
like 3 ultimates.
Yeah, Dio's been taking the brunt of the Mason in these fights, but if she's able to survive past that initial engage, she can pump out a ton of damage.
And then Apari going in almost finds the kill, but forces a flash out from Faye instead, and the Shen ultimate comes to follow, and Faye's ultimate is immediately canceled by Dio just running forward. Mason's actually able to find a kill on Honin, which is huge. That's the most important target there, and Mason's able to find a double kill, but is going to end up falling down to Shen. Liav is rooted, and they're dealing free damage onto him, but Lithius is still alive, and Apari is going to have a really easy time killing. Seraphine is able to get into range, but Faye is now back in the fight, just walked back to the base, healed back up, but Ali running forward, gets the Heartsteel stack onto Apari. His ultimate is going to run out now, so he's not going to get as much healing as he did before, and that's their window to kill him. He's falling down super low. Liav did flash in and is now still above half health. Kathy now getting poked down by Apari, not going to die, but the root does come through, but I just don't think any of these champions are going to die the rest of the fight. And I think that should just be Dragon over SKT.
Yeah, on both sides you have the big the Enchanter and the big tank alive. It's both Honin and Dio died there, so it's really hard for you to do damage, and yeah, the fight just fizzles, but SKT is pretty happy with that. I mean, you got the in hit, plus you're setting up for Drake first. Mason's just going to run into this bush, face checking it. Apari might be caught here. He's going to run through the wall, but no, he gets caught by the Jin W as Lux R's him as well. And that's going to be Apari down. This might be soul for Fruitcakes unless Honan pulls a miracle here and steals this.
Yeah, Dragon is falling down a little bit, and that is soul for Fruitcakes. It looked like they had just completely lost it, but the respawns came in and they're able to find a key pick onto Apari. This game is pretty damn even. The value of the soul kind of makes up for the gold lead, and Nash is going to be stunning for about 2 minutes, so you have the time to even out your lanes. The inhib being down is going to be pretty impactful, but maybe not impactful enough for SKT to really leverage it to win the game.
Yeah, Mason, again, face checking, but he's just going to die for it this time as... I mean, you have Liev pressuring the bot side and the rest of the team running top and trying to drop this tower here. Kai's doing well to dodge out of the artillery coming out from Honan as he gets caught. And that's not going to be quite a kill. What a giant!
Yeah, Honan is going to get ulted by Liev, and he would have died if not for that. But Faye's able to kill Lithia at half health.
That was insane.
The completion of Lord Doms is just enough AD plus the Infernal Soul damage, plus the 3 Infernal Drakes, plus the Roses. It's a lot of damage for the Jin. Although it's only 22 Roses, that's not actually that much. Yeah, that's insane how much damage is being done. Honan did not go for the Archangels yet in his build, so he's actually not that tanky at all. Leandri's going to give some, and same with Morello, but this isn't as tanky as you typically see one of the Kog'Maw mids be, especially without having barrier. That's another really common thing you'll see for it.
Yeah, as both teams now turn their eyes towards the Baron pit.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they try and go for Baron on spawn, Liev is not going to have ult up until a little after, so Fruitcakes kind of wants to pull the trigger a little early, but Ali is nowhere near it and doesn't have TP up yet, which I think is going to be super impactful. The other 4 members of Fruitcake are kind of in position, but not as in position as SK2, who basically looks like they could start it up. Liev should have 4,500 health here, and Ali at 6,500. Both of these tanks are not going to be quick to get through. Kog should have a slightly better time eating through Dr. Mundo, but I don't know. Jin is really going to struggle.
Yeah, the problem with relying on a Kog'Maw, on an AP Kog'Maw.
Oh, and Apari going in, able to find a lot of damage down on Faye, and Lux ulti and Seraphine ulti just used on nothing there. Double knockup coming through, and Honan's able to collect 1 kill and make that a second going over to SKT. And I think they're just going to have to disengage, but that's 2 key ultimates just burned on nothing, and a really good snipe coming out from SKT, and Kai is just going to be dead here too. Mason ran away directly from him. It looks like Ali's just trying to all commit to this split push. Kai going to fall down super low, and he is taken out. Ali able to find an inhibitor here, but if they're able to pick up the Baron after this, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Honan's just sitting there clearing waves. I don't think he's ever going to be able to kill the Mundo.
Yeah, they don't have a wave here, which I think is pretty important. Mia Ping's coming down on them, and the wave is just way far out, so I don't think there's actually a threat of taking the tower. And if they had moved up towards Nash earlier, this would be a little safer, but I just don't think Mason's going to be able to get there in time, because he does have to clear the super waves, and 3 members are dead for Fruitcakes.
Yeah, and I mean, no way for Fruitcake to contest here. Before Mason even gets here, the Baron's going to drop.
Mason can run in. If he flash smites, he should be good, but he dodges away from the Nami bubble instead, and now he's just going to get killed. His only job there was to try and steal it, and once that isn't happening, he needs to make sure that he lives. But now Jin opening up, trying to find anything, but not able to find any kills here. And that is another ultimate down. Apari wrapping around for a flank, is just going to pick up some farm while he's over here. Is spotted out on a Farsight ward, but I mean, Fruitcakes just has to huddle up and try and defend here. Baron plus the long range AP damage of Cog onto turrets, that's going to take him down really fast. And Xayah isn't a slouch either, but huge ult lined up for Kai, able to find a lot of damage down to Apari. And that could be enough to kill him, but the briefcase able to hit onto Dio instead of Apari, so not able to find the kill. And I don't think that back's going to be able to go off, and Fruitcake is just kind of running him down. Their inhib is down on the bottom side of the map. These Baron recalls are fast, and fast enough for a couple of them to get off, and I think that is going to allow them to defend the base. But Honan should just be dead here? Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're looking for award.
What a roller coaster of a game. What is happening right now?
I think they forgot that Nash got taken. Because that was like 8 million pings towards top side of the map. But Elder's going to be up in a minute, and Fruitcakes is set up way better for it. They're down gold, but I don't think it matters that much. You'd want Lux to have another item here, but now Mason's just running at Liav. I don't think Liav is going to have an easy way to get out here. He's able to get picked up by the Stride Breaker. He's just still running. Maybe they'll waste enough time, and Shen R is going to come down, but he's going to get stunned. And Liav is just going to get taken out here. Maybe. If that's 1,000 gold going over 1,000 gold going over to Mason. What? It's crazy. But now they can just path down to the dragon, and with no Shen there, this should be a pretty easy Elder for Fruitcakes. They're able to pick this up. It's going to look like both 2-0 teams are just going to progress to finals. Shows that the Swiss Jaw did a very good job of taking this down, but SKT is setting something up. They're pulling for a death bush. They're not even trying to defend these towers.
Yeah, this is
very
an
risky
play by SKT.
But Honing could just clear waves so easily. I don't think they're actually under any threat. They're just sitting there. Mason is going to get there so much faster than the rest of his team. He's basically just going to end up face checking. And they don't even move now.
They spotted them. Mason barely spotted them with the sweeper, so they know they're there.
Oh, that's crazy.
But
they go in and get right two of them. And Kai falls down insanely fast too. Dio, Lithium, and Apari just insta-kill everybody. If Mason spotted him with the sweeper, but it looks like they're just going to go for the backdoor instead. They called it, so many of them were there. Ali doing so much damage, but Elder's down so fast. Ali's going to die. I don't think he's going to be able to take this. I saw what they were going for, but maybe if you do that, just don't take the Elder as fast. If you're trying to go for the backdoor, but now it's up to SKT. They're going to have full duration Elder, and they're uncontested for the next 20 seconds.
What is happening this game?
I don't know, if I've learned anything from Frostbite, it's that Ali's going to backdoor you like a motherfucker. So watch for that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. He plays Singed, but I don't know. There are pings coming out bottom. TP is available for both Mundo and Kai, so maybe they could look for a backdoor. But the minions aren't super close. It really depends on when Kai spawns. The teleport isn't coming out. He's able to snipe too, but he's not going to be able to kill anybody. And Faye almost dying to Honen's ultimates there, and Apari getting so much damage on the backfight. They're going to be able to get one execute off from Elder, and Ali's not even going to spawn in time, I don't think. And they're so low. That flash away from Kai's ultimate was critical, and now they're just hitting Nexus. They're going to be able to end the game in time. This Elder fight was so huge, and as you said, they spotted them in the corner, and they just decided to bait, but they killed them so quickly that they're all able to base in time and stop the push from Ali. That game was so close, a 40-minute banger.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was so back and forth the entire time. I mean, SKT won that with no turrets on the map. They had nothing.
Yeah, that's insane. One inhib down. If Ali was able to just buy like 10 more seconds and TP in when that wave was about to crash, I think he just takes Nexus, but they're just able to push so fast off the Elder. It's like if anyone had been able to stall just a little bit longer, it feels like that game could have been in Fruitcake's hands, but unfortunately, they just get killed so quickly on the Elder with that burst damage coming out from the 4-item Kayn, 4-item Xayah, and 3-item Nami. They just get completely shredded.
Yeah, and credit to Lithi there as well, landing a really good bubble. I think she hit 3 members there on the death
that's
push.
Crazy. Wow. Yeah,
what a day.
Well played by SKT, and they are going to advance as a 2-1 team into the best of 3 Fearless Draft Finals, which we are going to get to watch tomorrow. So tomorrow's either going to be 2 or 3 games. I will not spoil it, but here is going to be the finals. It's going to be Metabusters playing for the LA Fire Department Foundation, or if you like your superhero rats, there is Skaven's Kill Team playing for a Popo. And if we've understood anything from this tournament, this is going to be a fucking banger. Metabusters 3-0 going into this. Skaven Kill Team 3-1. Did drop a game, I believe, in the first round, actually. I forget to what team. I can pull that up.
I think it may have been...
It
Andromeda?
was Fruitcakes, actually.
Fruitcakes.
So they were able to get their revenge there, which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, well fought game there. That was a banger. I
Yeah.
believe MetaBusters did have side select for the first game of the series, if you are wondering going into it. But that is all I'm going to say about it. I kept the stream under 3 hours for Stav, so I will let you go to bed, and thank you everyone for watching. We'll
Yeah.
see you tomorrow.